Hello, hello. Wow, Jordan. Okay. Just be like that. That's fine. What do you have? What do you open up? Would you like to share with the class?
Please share.
Sponsored by Reese's.
Did you bring
We
enough
wish.
to share with the class?
Uh-huh.
If not, you must put your snack back.
Uh-huh.
Here, take some.
You just came back from a recess.
He actually did it! He just
Jordan's
threw it at the
done.
camera. That was wonderful. Thank you.
Oh,
No
he
more
had
Jordan.
it behind his
Only
monitor.
Reese's.
Well, that was exciting.
That was exciting. That was very exciting. Oh, bye, Jordan.
Oh.
You're on the... There we go. Anyway. When we last left our heroes, they were getting burninated. So, let's see what happens. Yeah. Yeah, so I think one of the things that happens is the burning skeleton over yonder is gonna try to, kill some
Where's yonder?
innocent
Sorry.
family members.
No, he wasn't distracted by my sickle.
I mean, what is he supposed to do? Attack the sickle?
Look where it came from.
Okay, I'll make a save for him.
It's more like a save for the others.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
He does not succeed on his save, so he's gonna go after you instead. He's like, "Oh, a worthy challenger," and so he crawls out of the window and
Come
comes
at
towards
me.
you. Yeah, leaps out terrifyingly from the window at you.
I have fire resistance and an AC of 19.
There you go. And yeah, let's have him make some attacks.
No.
Nope. Good play, Ryo. All right, so this other burning skeleton is going to attack the dude it's been attacking. There's going to be a lot of attacking that happens here. Okay, one hits. Could possibly spell the end. Yep, that is the end for that dude.
Ugh, this is just not going well.
Let's see.
It's a bloodbath.
This
The
burning
fire.
skeleton is going to step over here. And these two are going to attack that one. So
Ew.
3 hits, which is likely spells the end. Oops. Yeah, that guy's very dead.
Caleb told us he won't be killing us anymore, so we have to kill someone.
Again, like you said, there are other ways to make us suffer.
Fair. Yeah, just kill innocents. Who's left here? Who else can I slaughter? Oh, this is one guy. This guy with 1 hit point over here. He's gonna attack that fire
So
chassis.
disappointed about that.
Yeah, I know.
Especially if he kills him right now, I'm just gonna be like, ah.
It wouldn't be the first time
Yup.
something with one.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not gonna be
possibly.
good.
He did.
Yep.
Ooh.
I should have gone after him.
him.
And then this one is going to attack its little friend. By friend, I mean enemy.
They might have been friends at one point.
I mean, that's true. It does seem that these were fire genasi before. Totally misses, though. All right, and then we got the 2 who are up by Witch Doctor. I think they're probably still going to both attack him. There's not really much of a reason why they wouldn't do
But
so.
he has 2 more to his AC.
It's true. It's true, he does.
Hopefully it helps.
1, 2, 3, 4. I don't want to die anymore. Okay. 2 hit. Let's see. So that's a 9, and then 8, so 17 damage to Mr. Witch Doctor over there. And that is all of the burninating skeletons. Ari Armani, is you.
All right, I guess I'll waste an attack on that 1 hit point guy. I'm gonna send Buck over to do help as my bonus action.
You really gotta kill him.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to make sure that he's dead. So, yeah, I might as well just give
Make
it.
sure he's dead.
I
Take
didn't
extra
even
care.
need it.
Yep. He's right in.
He's dead by
Oh man.
not much.
Yep. He is.
Okay. And then I want to just stay where I'm at and hit the switch my. Oh wait, I can't switch my hunter's mark because I use my bonus action. So I'm just going to use my other attack to hit that one.
Ari fatality.
This guy you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep, it's a hit.
12.
Look at that. Good job.
Ari's just so good.
It's true. She's pretty good.
I'm very competent. I'm good at my job.
I'm
then
very competent.
And then we realize that we've been inside Miggy's head the entire time.
She's just so
Ari's so good.
great.
Ari's so amazing.
She's so amazing. I just love her.
Nah, that's not exactly how it's coming across, but
No, I know.
he has complicated feelings.
Yeah, well.
Don't we all,
though?
Miggy?
Yeah, it's true. Yep. All right, so the tribal warriors are gonna try to tribe
Survive.
some more. So
I like all of our characters have like legitimately have complicated feelings.
mm-hmm.
True.
Like even the snake dude.
I mean, because that's how real life works. Everybody's real complicated.
I just
I was
don't
waiting
make
for it.
things so complicated.
Do not
Wow.
butcher that song like that, Seth.
He just did.
I don't.
Just
That's like
did.
no much of that song.
Let's say, why'd you move that guy?
Oh, yeah, I don't actually know why I moved them over here, because there's guys over here. They'd probably just stay over there. Honestly, both of them would move over there. I was just trying to think of...
No. So that guy was originally here.
Yeah,
They were-
one
they were-
guy
they
was
were
there
Right.
and can move, and then
Right,
one guy
and
was
so they both
to the right,
moved
yeah.
here. So they're... Or maybe they do this instead, actually. So many dead guys, and I gotta move out of the way. Yeah, they're gonna flank this dude. Okay. Boop, boop.
I like how
Stabby stab.
Caleb purposefully isn't deleting these because he knows that they're going to come back to life as these fire people.
I mean, I've just
We're
made
gonna have
I
to-
made a practice of not deleting
Ooh.
creatures on the board, so that's just how I do it. It's not
We could
supposed to
always
mean
search
anything.
them.
The ashes.
Yes.
No, I mean these fire genasi. They're all obviously also going to turn into skeleton people.
I
I
mean,
mean, he's left dead bodies on the field before, but I hope you're wrong. So I hope you're wrong, is what I'm saying.
I certainly wasn't gonna
hope
do it originally, but
Why'd you have to give them ideas? Next village, they'll explode, and
No.
the fire
Remember-
genasi will
remember-
come back to life.
Remember, Caleb doesn't take our ideas and use them.
He
He
one-ups
takes them
them.
and enhances them. He one-ups them. So we're fine for now. Maybe. We'll find out.
Maybe. We'll see.
that just
mean,
means
worst
you'll be
case-
worse off later. Is the problem?
You know, worst case scenario, we all died. There doesn't become a new god of death, and zombies just wipe out everything, and then we start a new campaign.
That could be the
We're
outcome.
all
Yeah.
we all just become zombies.
And then we'll play an undead campaign.
Oh my gosh, that would
You
be
help.
kind of lit.
Gosh.
You all become like vampires or something. I think we've talked about this before.
Yeah, we have.
Okay, they do some more attacking, and as usual, we're kind of pitiful. But Raya, the not pitiful person.
Wait,
but,
what about this guy? Does he do anything?
You're right. I didn't have him do anything.
And this one, does he?
That
does
guy
he do
attacked.
anything?
Yeah, that was that last
Okay.
attack.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess this guy would run over here. Attack. There's a lot of people to keep track of.
You wouldn't go and try and help his friends right here? Like with one of these skellies?
Yeah, that's probably what he would do. So he misses.
With the 14?
14 misses.
Yes.
AC's 15.
Yeah, there he's
What?
15.
I thought it was 14.
Nope. All right, Jiraiya Olafemi. Rage monster, go.
Can you please move my sickle 1 down?
I can do
It's
that.
gonna attack through the window.
Yep.
This poor family is just like, oh my god.
What's happening?
Oh my Xibalba!
And then I'm going to
By
use my
Xibalba's
bonus
beard.
action
My
to
Xibalba's
attack
beard.
with my spiritual weapon.
Xibalba's flames!
16. It's a hit.
It is indeed.
5 force damage.
Very good.
Son of Xibalba!
And then as my action,
What's great about that one is it sounds like you're saying son of your bulba, like son of Xibalba.
Oh yeah.
Son of Xibalba.
5 force.
I'm going to
It's definitely a
Attack
curse
it.
in this language now.
with my mace, but I want to add a charge from the Ring of the Ram.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
So
What's that
I'm
do?
gonna so it'll add +7 to the attack,
Nice.
and then if it hits, it'll add 2d10 force damage.
Yeah, boy.
Nice.
Okay. Boop.
Nice.
29 to hit.
Yup. Roll that damage.
So that's 6, and then an additional 7.
Yep, that kills it.
Nice.
Would you like to describe how you just like blast this guy across the village?
So once it follows me to come out the window, I like slice the back of its neck with my spiritual sickle. So
Right.
he's like, ah! And then when he's looking back, he doesn't even see it coming. I raise my mace and I just smack him in the face really hard. Like there's a ram head that's kind of like glowing on the top of the mace that like helps me hit him real
Well,
hard.
so it wouldn't be a ram head. It would be this fire genasi's fist.
It would be a fire genasi fist
Yeah.
also on the mace. And he kind of like gets slammed into the hut.
Yeah, just crumples against
And
the
then
wall.
just like, crumples to the ground.
For sure. Cool.
Ha ha ha, I have saved the people.
Yes. Yes, indeed. Cody?
And then I'm gonna
Oh, yeah.
move like right there to show my protection for the hut.
Sure, sure. Sounds good. Toidoris, whatever your name is.
Mortis.
Wait, I've cast 2
Boris
third level spells at this
Longshell.
point, haven't I? I think I forgot to mark one.
Yeah, you've cast Shatter and then Dissonant Whispers.
Wait, did I cast Distant Whispers? First, wait. No, I cast that as a 2nd level
Yeah.
spell. Okay, so I forget sometimes that it doesn't mark my spell slots off automatically. What time of day is it?
Evening.
Do I risk doing nothing? Do I risk fixing everything? No.
Always risk fixing everything. Always do
Why
that.
don't
No,
you
but
just
here's the thing.
attack something?
I was gonna say I could use the Rod of Rulership, but the Rod of Rulership wouldn't do much because then they'd still get attacked, and it would. No, it's everyone.
It just says any creature. Yeah.
Wait,
Just attack something. We're gonna
each
win.
creature.
Each creature within.
Yeah, no, I mean I would do that, but then they're gonna get attacked, and it would break the thing. So
Yeah, it's here.
I'm gonna use Cloud of Daggers as a 3rd level spell on. I figure I don't need to click that. I always forget that. On which one? Well, the two on the this trio of people right here. Which one's been hit the least, or what looks the better one of them?
That was a lovely way to
Batter
say
one?
that sentence.
I pretty much. I want to.
Who? Where?
Give me a second. Why did it not work? Oh, there it goes. I'm gonna class Cloud of Daggers on this guy. Sure, why not? That's right. You have a token.
I do. Delete your stupid pink lines.
How do I delete? Can I? Wait.
User
I have to
selected
select
and
them.
delete.
Yeah. Roll 20 being so slow.
Yeah, we hear toot as the dagger comes onto the screen.
Give me a second. I gotta zoom in, and now roll 20 is gonna be even slower.
So spinning dagger suddenly surround this burninating dude.
It's gonna be on. Come on. Do I have control over it?
Yep. Nope.
Okay, I was like, I can't move it.
I didn't realize what you meant at first, but I was like, yes, that's the spell gives you control over it, right? But yeah, let me. Skadoosh. There you go.
Okay.
You should just create a character sheet for it so you can.
I could, yeah.
I'll put it on top of him. And
A giant pixelated dagger just falls on his head.
I'm gonna
Looks
roll
like a Minecraft dagger.
Yeah.
64.
Oof.
I'm just
Wow.
rolling.
Oh no.
That was pretty bad.
That was pretty bad, yeah. Just so I can actually like click this guy.
It was 11 damage, but it'll do 11 damage at the start of his turn too.
It's true.
Or 44.
Yeah.
Or 60.
64.
64, which I mean 11 is below average, so that rolls
Yeah.
worse.
All right, so Miggy is like, all right. Nope.
Oh, and I'm gonna give
go
Bardic
ahead.
Inspiration to Ari.
That makes sense.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. So
What do you
Miggy-
say to me?
Yeah, that's true.
Hey, Ari, I'm gonna need your help because I'm not doing squat over here.
What else is new?
Oh.
Wow. All right.
Hey, there
So
was
suddenly,
that time that he totally.
suddenly,
saved
Toity, you're in
everyone's butts.
darkness because of the shade that Ari just threw.
Man, and
That's-
I thought we'd have to worry about Toity getting burned from the. Genasi.
All right. So
Thanks,
Miggy,
Toity.
Miggy takes a look at the situation and he's like, "No, I gotta prove myself. I gotta do this. I gotta make myself worthy." And so he's gonna.
For honor.
I think he.
Must restore my honor.
Honor. Where does he go? I think he is going to be all heroic like and go try to help Raya. This is what he's doing in hwas mind. He's gonna take out his rapier and charge forth.
Oh,
Gone.
jeez, Nikki, I don't want or need your help.
Yeah, well, he has been told by Toity to prove himself, so that's what he's gonna do.
Yeah, that was a bad idea.
So what he is gonna do is he's gonna rush over there, and let's see, how far are you away from this dude? You know what? Actually, he's not gonna rush over there. He's gonna rush to help the fire genasi.
Much better.
Yeah, and he's gonna attack this the middle one that has the well, maybe not the one that has the cloud daggers. He probably just goes here and attacks this other one because he's smart. And yeah, he's gonna attack with his rapier, try to poke out this thing's bones. I guess I don't know how that's gonna work, but
Neither does he.
that's not how
clearly.
rapiers work. But it's fine. He hits.
But it works anyway.
It's true, and he gets sneak attack damage
And he gets burned.
Ooh. Yeah.
because he's a wow. Okay.
Hey.
Good job.
What is
2
with all the
more
one?
damage. And then
Why couldn't that
He-
be for the fire damage that he's about to take?
Seriously.
of course not. Yeah.
What's with all the sixes?
I don't know.
Really?
All right. And then he's gonna disengage. And wait a second. How far did he move last time? Where was he?
He was like.
It's like
maybe
right here?
Right here. I think he was like right there.
Yeah. So let's see. That's actually his entire movement, so he doesn't do anything else. Let me check something. Yeah, he has. Oh,
Can he
okay. So he has 40 feet of movement. So he is going to. Yeah, honestly, he's going to use his bonus action to dodge. That makes sense. Yeah. Which he can do, correct? No, he cannot. He can dash, disengage, or hide.
Hide. Okay, that's the third one.
So I think he's just going to move 5 feet away and disengage. Because he has 5 feet of movement left. Yeah, he's just like, I don't want to be right next to these fire dudes, so.
You're like,
he's like, ow.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think honestly, it's like he's trying to be like macho serious dude right now. So he's like gritting his teeth against the fire and just like, oh no, I will prove myself. Okay. It is shaman / witch doctor's turn. He's just gonna keep bashing this one skeleton with his staff over and over and over again. You can do it.
Oh, brother.
is he hitting the one that he's flanking?
No, he's trying to kill this. Well, I mean, it'll depend on if he kills it right away, but his first attack at least, and his only attack that hits, is against the one to his right because he can tell it's pretty damaged. But it's not.
Now, do they take double bludgeoning because they're skellies?
They do, which means he dies. Which means this one dies. I've been doing
Yay!
that. Yeah.
Cool.
So that one is dead. It's off his screen.
But he also takes damage.
He does, yes.
Oh, I didn't take damage when I killed that guy.
You should.
I should? Okay.
Yeah.
Please roll a 1, and then I just take nothing.
Okay, sounds good.
Cool.
Ignore that. Ignore that. That was rolling again for the bludgeon. Boop.
Is that one for me or the other guy?
That's for you.
Ugh, man, I take an entire damage. So annoying.
And then I guess this one's for the. So he also takes 1 damage. Boop. All right, that's his turn. Darius Death Knell, it's you.
Think, Darius, what could you do to smash this guy to smithereens without actually hitting him?
That's the trick right there.
Or you just hit him.
I mean, that is a thing I could do.
I love how everyone in this combat has just been like, all right, gotta do the special thing, and Raya's just been every single time. Emily's just like, just hit him. Just
hit him. They just need to die.
Guys, I found the weakness. You just have to hit them really hard.
I've been successful.
I mean, yeah, it's worked for Raya. She hit him real hard.
I've saved a hut of fire genasi. I killed one of them.
I've been rolling horribly.
I would just like to point out that Ari is not complicated either. It's just shooty shoot.
It's true. No, you're right. It's always Toity and Darius that are just like, all these fiddly bits. Let's yeah.
I don't have the ability just to
Darius.
It's true. No, yeah, Toity definitely doesn't.
Old Darius was pretty simple. It was
Yeah.
smack, smack,
Yep.
smack, smack.
If I ran in and tried to hit them, I'd be dead.
Yep, you're right.
Okay, so I shall temperance.
Nice.
Boom. Good job.
Dead?
Dead?
That one hasn't been hit at all. So no,
Oh, not dead.
definitely not dead. Sorry.
Smack it again.
Smackety smack.
Smackety smack. Don't talk back.
Thank you. Okay. Come on, hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, boy.
Okay, guys, do we want to just guarantee this one dead?
That'd be nice, because then you guys can come help us.
Okay.
I mean, I don't need any help. I'm a strong, independent Raya.
Who just saved a fire genasi family.
I don't need no man. I just need Ari to protect me.
That's what Raya tells herself. But there is one man. Yep.
Okay. Let me see exactly how this beautiful thing works.
Oh, it's a beautiful thing.
Oh, yes, it is. Okay. Caleb, do you want me to roll to see if I actually do this?
Yes, indeed.
Okay.
I think the way we'll do this is every time you do something new, I'll have you roll. And if you succeed, the first time you succeed, you have unlocked the ability, basically, and you can do it without having to roll ever again.
Okay. Now, if I happened to get with somebody that could train me and help me to unlock these things.
You could for sure do that, yeah.
Okay. Because that's kind of my hope, to be able to do that with this guy.
Ooh, maybe, yeah.
Carisma.
Wow, capitalized charisma there. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think that quite cuts it. So.
I get it, cuts it. Also, why is it capitalized?
I don't know. I mean, it seems right on the nose for Darius, but...
I mean, it does. Okay, another 5.
Doesn't kill it.
On
Okie
the plus
dokie.
side, it's going to be a lot harder to expend all of my spell slots until I can actually use them.
It's true. You take 7 fire damage. As you are cooked alive in your armor. Once more. Alright. So, some more burning happens here.
First, that guy takes...
Yep.
21 damage! There
And
we go!
he did.
There we go. That makes up for a lot.
He did.
Only
He's
it had
so
been
dead.
earlier. Was that overkill?
It was very overkill.
Could have used that earlier.
And then... This one is going to step over to Raya, ignoring her threatening stance, and attack her anyway. Thank you for the sound effects. I appreciate it.
Whoa, 1 hit.
1 hits.
Wow.
1 very much.
All right,
does
you take
not.
7 piercing damage and 1 fire damage. Raya's like, I lived in a desert. You got nothing on me.
I am one with the burning underworld.
The anger of my fire of my anger and the cold deadness of my heart.
Protect me.
All right.
By Xibalba's fire, be purged.
Yep. All right.
That's something that Darius would be doing.
Oh, for sure. Okay, we got another attack on some fire genasi, and I think that guy is definitely dead, so... It's a bummer for that guy over there.
Well.
Oh, maybe not. Wait. Nope, that is definitely still enough to kill him. One more dead fire genasi.
Pieces, friend.
And then we got a burning skeleton on the southward side. He's going to go ahead and do some short swords. And he just gets hit, actually both those hit, but not a critical. So we got 5, 1, 6, and 6. Okay. That guy's dead too.
Oh, great. Wonderful.
Sorry about that.
Wait, is it 5 and 1 and 6 and 3 though?
It is, yeah. No, they have 11 hit points, which
Still
already
dead?
gets down because of the
Okay.
piercing. Yeah.
Excellent.
And then on the witch doctor. 1 hit.
Basically, everybody except the witch doctor.
And that you're counting as bonus 2
Yep.
AC?
He has 16 AC with your bonus.
Okay.
So. Okay, so another 8. It's okay. This guy has a lot of health.
Good. I probably didn't need to go and protect him, but you
Nope.
know.
But it's fine. All right, Ari Armani.
All right, so honestly, that guy's dead, so I'm like, well, crap. And I hear that our Raya is getting hit, so I'm gonna
You could,
turn
could
this
we
way.
heal the people that we're getting downed?
We can probably have like a roll happen at the end here to see how quickly you guys could try to res some people.
Yeah.
From the
So
brink
I'm gonna tell Buck to move. Here, let me see how far that is, because I think he has like 60 feet of movement. Yeah, I'm gonna have him fly over here to give Raya flanking, and then I'm gonna shoot him with 2 of my arrows and switch my hunter's mark to him.
Cool. Buck flies over and keeps his distance because fire, but you know, trying to help.
Yeah.
Yep, that's a hit and good old 11 damage.
What's with my ones?
Wow.
So frustrating. So 12,
Whoops.
and then I will do it again.
Yep.
1d6. There we go. 12.
Almost. So very close.
But no.
Like Raya, you'll have to finish him off.
Sorry, friendo. All right. The warriors. There is actually only 2 of them left. This guy's
Move
gonna
on top of his friend and flank.
Yeah.
I'll probably drop the cloud of daggers as soon as it's gone as a reaction.
Yep, that makes sense. And then they're gonna try to finish off this burning skeleton right here. And may completely fail. Oh, I just realized these guys have pack tactics. Whoops.
Are you serious?
Oh, wow.
I don't think it
Well,
would have
that
mattered a
would've
whole
been-
lot, honestly. It wouldn't have mattered a whole lot. They had pretty crappy rolls, all things considered. Okay, so that one's dead.
Yay, finally they kill one.
They stab it to death.
Hey, remember we have pack tactics. Oh yeah.
Let's do that thing.
Hey, do the thing. You mean the procedure 4? Yeah.
Yeah,
that one.
procedure 4. Do get out. Get help, or what? Get help.
Get help,
Yeah. Yeah, we
Get
see.
plan 2.
yeah. Get out plan 2. That's what it was. Get out version 2. Alrighty, Raya, Olafemi. There are 3 burning skeletons left of the map.
I just kind of like see Ari shooting and see Bucks coming over to me, and I just am like angrily yelling, like, I don't need your help. I can do this myself. And
okay.
Can you move my sickle again?
Yeah.
Down 1. And I'm gonna attack with that. Does that get advantage because it's technically a melee attack? It's like a melee spell attack.
Why would it get advantage?
Because like we're flanking. Like would I move it to where Buck is to like flank? Like I wasn't sure.
No, I mean
think-
there was someone
know.
need to be right there for it to be flanking for the.
And you could always move as well.
Yeah, you can move there and make it flanking.
You might be better off staying. Oh, that works.
I mean, I can just move back.
Yeah, it doesn't provoke attack or machine or anything like that.
That-
so-
Oh my god.
Oh no. Okay.
And
All
then-
right.
I don't need your help.
Yeah.
Oh.
We rolled a lot
And
of
then-
ones tonight.
Yep.
I'm gonna do the same thing and do my mace with the Ring of Fire Genasi fist power.
I
charge
have
of it.
the power.
All right, do it.
So that hits.
Ooh.
Hey.
Good job, Tlalix Thunder. It dead. It very dead.
Well, it's so dead.
It's you obliterate it. Yeah, like legitimately as thoroughly as you could possibly have destroyed this thing.
And I really want it to like already be dead, and then it like punches it again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just like to punctuate the anger.
Yeah, I think what we see is you just like lop off its like destroy, crumble its head to dust with like one swing, and then like the body starts crumbling, and then it just explodes everywhere, and just ash goes everywhere.
And I
Ash.
want to have like ash in my face and just be
Yeah. You
And then Buck's just covered in ashes.
no more Mr. Nice Raya.
Do I get damage for hitting it?
Yes. 2.
Oh man, taking so much damage here. Okay. And then I guess I'm gonna hold my ground over here protecting this hut.
KK. 20.
I'm gonna, with the bellow of anger, just because of everything happened, just gonna pick up the another shard of, what is it? I forget exactly what the component is. Oh, Cloud of Daggers doesn't have. Wait, no. Oh no, it's ruby. No. Okay. For some reason, the material component isn't on here, so I don't remember exactly what it is. I think it's a piece of mica. I just pick up the last rock and just chuck it at this last skeleton thing over here that I can see.
Micah.
Huh?
Poor Micah.
Yeah, I know. So I'm just gonna just chuck it.
He's always getting thrown around. It's really not.
Yeah.
To do 21 damage
Well,
with the Cloud of Daggers to that one.
He does have a little bit of a hard head though, so it should be fine. Which one?
This one right here.
Okay.
He should be dead.
Whoa, 21 damage? Is that how much damage you
Yeah.
just did to this? Yeah, it's obliterated. It's pulverized. So dead.
Clobberized.
Combo.
Combo smash.
6-hit combo. Yeah.
Headshot.
Yep.
I'm Batman.
All right, that works too.
Have you seen that video?
Mm-mm.
I don't remember what it is. Oh, it's a silver glass. Okay.
Oh, okay. Is that
So now is
oh,
Miggy gonna one shot or like headshot the last guy?
That'd be cool.
Is that all you do, Toity?
That's all I do. I could do more, but I don't know if it'll help.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, like there's nothing else for him to make it do over here.
Darius,
so...
do you already have a bardic inspiration die?
No.
I'll give you one.
Yay.
Maggie's gonna come over here and try to be the super cool hero who like finishes off the last enemy.
And I'm pretty sure he still has his bardic inspiration. Oh, doesn't need it.
And he also gets he gets sneak attack whenever there's an ally within 5 feet of the enemy. So he totally kills this thing.
Attaboy, Miggy.
Yeah, Migs. All right. Yep. He just like stabs into this thing into like its weird heart. It's like middle of its rib cage, and then just like kind of like crumbles and turns to ash. And yeah, you look across a ash-ridden battlefield.
Is there any way that I'd like be able to kind of get in the middle and like somehow use my channel divinity to bring a bunch of people to 1 HP? Or are they all like real dead by now?
Well, I mean, I'm sure that there are some of them that aren't. So yeah, let's see. There's 2 left of the 10 that were there. Let's have you roll a d10 minus 2, and that is what?
How many
you'll be able to res.
So at that rate, we would for sure res one of them.
5.
No, so it would be possible then. Like, yeah, if she had gotten like a 2 or lower, it would have been no one.
I accidentally kill one of the ones.
No. Yeah, the 2 people who are alive just die.
Yeah.
No, yes, you get 5 more back.
So I give each of them, it's 5 times my level, so that's 7. So I can give each of them 7 hit points. Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't matter that much as long as they're up, I think.
But I'm giving them each 7. Or up to half of their HP. If it's lower than that, just give them the lower then.
Right. But yeah, so you bring some Fire Genasi soldiers back up. I mean, that's going to go a long way to...
You're welcome.
Yeah, helping this village for sure. So I think we see, right, this, like, ash-ridden landscape, and Raya just, like... So what does this look like, Raya, when you just, like, raise a bunch of people from the dead, basically?
I'm still just like kind of like mad.
Mm-hmm.
So I like just
You do
come over here.
the Arthur clench your fist to your side, and then suddenly just like.
Yeah, I like rub my holy symbol on my necklace, and I'm just like, and then there's some silver light, and then it's just like,
and then they pop awake. Yeah.
What is going on?
Last thing I knew, I was on fire, and okay, but I'm always
now
on fire.
I'm still on fire.
Yeah. Yep. So I think what happens is like there's a moment of like stunned silence as like these fire genasi kind of like come to, and then the this dude over here, the witch doctor, kind of like looks around, and he looks at you, Darius, and he just says, "Who are you? Who are all of you?"
Actually, I kind of want to do something just for flair. I want to use my dimension door to zap over to him.
Okay, yeah. Boop. Awesome.
I'll use my dimension door to instantly just zap over to him, just because for a reason actually.
Mm-hmm.
I zap up to him, hop in front of him, and say, "Toitra Slog Blossom." No, then I probably wouldn't give my full name. The name's Toichi, and it's a long story.
And we probably honestly cut the scene there, and then we see like an after, like we cut forward in time to like after like the soldiers are kind of like helping figure things out in the village, and
I would want to have gone to make sure the family in that hut.
Yeah, so I think that's what we see first, right? So we see Raya like kind of like go in, and I think we hear a mother softly like saying something in primordial, like some sort of like reassuring, comforting words to her like young son. And
how old does the young son seem to be?
Like 8.
I want to do some like try and like make him smile and like do some like thaumaturgy.
Well, right.
Tricks.
So what probably is, so are you coming through the door?
Yeah.
Okay, so basically like you're at the door, and like the door is like obviously broken down right now. And you like look inside and you see this mother like kind of like holding her like crying son, like trying to like comfort him. And right, you see the woman with like these long long thin lines of fire for hair, and then the little boy just has like little film of fire hair. And she like looks up at you and then like stops like what she's saying as she sees like a demon in her door. And then she basically says something along the lines of, in primordial, where like, "Xibalba, protect us, please. Give my son a quick death," kind of a thing, right? Like, because she thinks like you're gonna like come in here and murder them.
Control my spiritual weapon like towards me, and then like kind of like zap it away.
Okay.
And dismiss it to like show that I was the one who like protected them.
She still doesn't seem to get it. She's just like terrified looking at you.
And I kind of just say, "I'm not here to hurt you. I wanted to make sure you were okay."
Okay, make a persuasion check.
Persuasion.
It's still basically the same. She's just like, she starts muttering softly again to her son, like, "Don't worry, I'm here. I won't let anyone harm you." And the boy is just still like quietly sobbing.
What is Darius doing at this point? I say that about my own character, but like,
right. I mean, Raya, I guess like, what do you stay? Do you go?
That is about as emotionally intelligent I feel like I am. I don't think I know of anything else to do.
Sure. So maybe you just kind of like walk away.
I just kind of like say like, "You're safe now," and walk out.
Sure. Yeah.
Ungrateful.
Yeah, so I guess we cut to Darius, and so I think like this dude, and so you've learned his name is Kabil.
How do you spell that?
Pronounced this way, and this is why I had to look up the pronunciation of this, because the I sounds like a long E, so Kabil. And yeah, just as a reminder, he looks like this. He's got the weird like half fire thing going on. And
fire comb over.
Yeah, the fire. I mean, he's not a fire comb over. It's like a fire. Like half his head is shaved, and the other half is like kind of like
Kevin Young's
hipster.
hair is like that.
Yeah, like that. It's like that. Except it's fire. And so he is like kind of sitting on a log, probably just like, it is so good that you managed to get here in time. I don't know what we would have done otherwise. Thank you.
I'm there as
Kabil.
well.
Yeah. Ari, are you there?
No.
Where are you? Where are you?
I don't know, but I mean, I can't speak to these people, so
I bet
I'm
her and
probably
Mickey-
just like walking around, like making notes.
I bet
Oh,
her and
right,
Mickey-
yeah. A small fire genasi village in the swamp, yeah. Yeah, and Miggy's, I think Miggy's over by Toity and Darius, even though, like, he can't understand. He's just kind of, like, standing there trying to be helpful. It's kind of standing there. Look unthreatening. Yeah. So what do you say?
Kabil, where did they come from? Do you know?
They came from the swamp somewhere. I'm not entirely sure.
Is there a grave site nearby?
I mean, there's a grave site near every village. It's part of...
Did they come from the direction of the grave site?
Listen, before we get any further with this line of inquiry, who are you? I don't think you've answered my questions yet.
Oh, how long's it been since?
Not that long. Like,
Okay.
Oh, okay.
We have
Give me a
allies.
second. I'm writing this down.
mhm.
Oh.
The flaming skeletons came from where? What did he say?
just from the swamp.
swamp.
Yeah.
What is he again? He's not a shaman.
And he
before
doesn't mean like
was-
they looked out into the swamp and they saw them like coming out of the swamp. It was more like just somewhere in the swamp they were just coming and attacking a village.
Okay.
And I'm gonna turn to Darius and say, Darius, allow me.
Wow.
What
Wow.
well, partially because I have the cloak. I have
You have
everything.
the advantage. Yeah, I get it.
It's like we're a band of travelers from ways away, across the ocean actually, and we've been coming
he
here.
frowns, seems to like remember something, and he kind of like looks you up and down a little bit. Across the ocean.
Yes.
And
Why are you saying these things?
let me make a history check
This is
for
why-
him.
He's gonna ask anyway.
Yeah, that's true. Let me make a history check for him to see if he remembers.
It's better to be honest than to lie.
It's better to not have the person who's wearing the cloak tell him that we're from across the ocean.
Have advantage with charisma against
It's
fire
true.
genasi.
So on the one hand, they'll love you. On the other hand, they'll hate you. The never-ending struggle of wearing the cape of fire genasi kind.
I
Good
feel
old
like it's not
ambassadors.
like they love you. They just believe you.
Yeah.
They hate you and believe you.
Oh, darn it. Okie dokie. I don't think he has history trained. Nope.
Good.
So he's gonna make an intelligence check. Then. Oh
Well,
boy. Yeah, he definitely knows what that is. Yeah, so I think he says, why have you brought this doom to my village?
Do I get an idea if he do I kind of get an idea he knows?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Look, Kabil, you said your name was?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm a spiritual advisor of sorts here.
We've come from I keep forgetting what it's called. The island.
The Isle of Solemn
Island of
Graves.
Solemn Graves.
We've come from the Isle of Solemn Graves, and we have
Certainly doesn't help your point.
it wasn't not a,
Basically, you just told them, yeah, I'm definitely wearing the Betrayer stuff, and we came from basically the creepiest, worst place in this place, and we came from across the ocean, and what else do you want to know?
Just
I'm a
because
demon?
you have advantage
No, I was-
doesn't mean you can just make the worst
I'm getting to a
impression ever.
specific point.
Yeah, go ahead.
Believe me, after being there, I understand entirely what you mean. The thing is, though, we ran into a few of your kind there, and we're looking for their family.
So you killed the fire genasi you met first, and now you want to kill their family. No, he doesn't actually say that.
No, we didn't.
He doesn't say it like that.
Like,
Yeah, he just seems confused.
It was a certain did we ever get Idokali's title or what she was?
No, she was from the Cult of the Dying Flame. But...
We ran into one specifically, a member of the Cult of the Dying Flame, named Idokali.
Yeah, okay, and I haven't really thought about how this guy views them. So I think he just looked curious at first. I think he looks at you and says, "The Dying Flame? You met with an expedition of theirs?"
Yes.
To the Isle of Solemn Graves.
Yes, and we were trying to help them, we were helping them in their battle against the snake people and the lizard folk.
All right. So you're allies of the Cult of the Dying Flame, then?
I guess you could say that, yes. We have yet to
Given that everyone we've ever met from the Cult of the Dying Flame is dead,
That's why it's called the Dying Flame.
It's not the living
Not our
flame.
fault.
Come on, guys.
It's more like the Cult of the Dead Flame at this point.
I think it's safe to say we know that Idokali's dead by now. Given we didn't.
Idokali's very dead, yeah.
Yeah, I'd say probably
you know.
like, yes, as much as we can be, I guess. I mean, they're the only ones we've seen so far of your kind. Except for a village downstream a little bit we saw for a moment.
And when you say downstream, you mean like down the river of the Amazon River, one of the largest
Oh
river
yeah,
in the world.
down the river a bit.
Just downstream.
Just downstream.
I'm used to being streams.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah. Make a persuasion check, I guess, to just see how he takes all of this.
I have advantage.
It's true.
Persuasion. 30. Wait, no. That's just.
just
I was like, how do you get a plus 10?
No, the plus 10 is
No, I
already
do have
added.
a plus 10. It's
You
just
already
know,
added.
I'm like,
Yeah, I mean.
I would like to point out the fact that he just rolled a 10 and a 3.
Yep. So, I mean, I think he looks more curious than anything. So I think he's just kind of like thinking this over in his mind, and he seems like he's about to say something to you, and then a robed figure from this like lodge behind you steps out, and like it's this like older gentleman, and he has like, and so here I'll just show you what
I'm moving myself because at this point I would have been done with the family and come out.
Sure. So he looks like this.
Ooh,
Wow.
So fiery.
Yeah, so like
Ooh.
it's basically
His robe is
so
on fire.
imagine this a little bit more as less like a robe and more like that's his like hair and his like beard and like mutton chop sort of a situation, right? So he has this incredibly flamboyant like sticking up hair and like mutton chops that just like flares out.
He's that one guy from here, My Hero Academia.
He's Endeavor. He's definitely Endeavor. Thank you for picking that up. He steps out and yeah, he says, "Kabil, we need to meet. The elders are displeased. You have brought shame upon us all." And Kabil just kind of like, he kind of like does one of those, like he's still looking at you and then kind of like does a side eye back, and so only you can see this. And he just like seems to like tense. And he says, "I'm sorry, we'll have to continue this conversation at another time." And then he kind of like looks back at the elder like, what do you want these guys to do? Sort of a thing. And the other looks at you and kind of notices, and he says, "Who are these interlopers, outsiders?" And yeah, Kabil just kind of like raises a hand like, they helped us fight off the skeletons. They are allies."
And I just kind of from the back go, "Don't forget I also healed 5 of your men."
I've been like the whole time, like whenever Toy interrupted, Darius was trying to say allies, we're allies.
Yeah.
But no, nobody lets Darius talk.
I mean, this is Darius usually didn't do the talking before, but now he's actually kind of good at talking, so it's just a struggle.
And I don't know that.
Well,
That's true.
also the fact that when you're next to Toity, you don't wait for him to let you talk. You just kind of talk over him.
Yeah. Yeah, so The elder looks at you, Raya, and it's just like, oh, all right, well, we're allies with demons now. That's fine. Okay. And he just frowns very deeply, and he says, Kabil, come. You all wait here. And they kind of like gestures to like the soldiers, like the militia, just to like kind of keep an eye on you, and they kind of like stand up straight and just are looking like, and
the ones who are just standing up from the ground.
No, that's the thing, and like they don't look like they're about to like surround you and like arrest you or whatever, but they're just kind of like, okay. But yeah, so then Kabil's like led away. What do you guys do?
Pull out my flute.
Okay.
If I was sneaky at all, I would want to like try and listen in, but I'm not.
Turns out the sneakiest of us all can't understand what they're saying.
Yeah, and Ari doesn't understand them.
I could cast tongues on her.
You could.
I mean, I think they're pretty much watching us. I'm not gonna just be like, okay, I'm gonna hide behind this bush now.
Suddenly it's just a bush where Ari was, and she's just like,
not like I have the cloak anymore to just be like, bye.
Bye.
I just kind of like, while everybody's like kind of keeping an eye on us and coming like a little closer, I just kind of like say a little loudly, like, do any of you know anything about the cult of the dying flame? And
you just like talking to a bunch of soldiers, and they just kind of like look at you, and then just kind of like mutter to themselves, like, cult of the dying flame, like, isn't that weird? Yeah, that thing. And then you just don't get any, they're not talking to you. They're just kind of like, you can make a persuasion check, I guess, if you want to like legit try to.
No, I don't.
Yeah, and so it basically happens exactly as I said it. They kind of mutter themselves, but don't really offer you anything.
Great, thanks I'm getting for saving you guys' lives. It's fine.
Do you say that?
Yeah.
Okay. I think a couple of them kind of like look down, like, well, I didn't ask you to save my life. I mean, thanks, but okay. Just doing my job.
I think Darius kind of reaches out and puts a hand up on Raya's shoulder. Is the family okay?
Yeah, they're fine.
Yeah, and maybe you like look over involuntarily and you see the mother just standing in the doorway now with her son who stopped crying, just kind of like frowning and kind of like looking over the situation like, okay, what's going on here?
I'm just gonna take my flute and start playing a jaunty tune.
Okay, do you want to make a performance check?
I would love to make a performance check.
Oh, the fire genasi just start doing a jig. What?
This is how Toity's making a name for himself. He's the best musician to ever come to this con.
Seriously.
Like, okay. I feel like it's the same tune he keeps playing over, like he's playing the same thing, and everybody is just like addicted. Like everybody digs whatever he's playing.
Yeah.
Can I say something? Mm-hmm. I want to say that this is maybe a tune I heard from Itzakali's camp.
Okay.
Of one of their guys.
One of her people was just like doing a little like flute tune. Yeah.
Or humming it or something. So like this is just since I've crit this.
Yeah. What it totally. I mean, Toity is a good musician, so he probably like heard the little riff that the guy was like whistling and then just made an entire song out of it. And like, so basically what's going through the minds of these soldiers is like, okay, I recognize that, but this is like way better than the version I've heard. Like, whoa.
See them start like bobbing their heads like.
Yeah, like seriously. And some of them are just kind of like, and it's like this weird thing where like you literally like, it's almost magic how Toity somehow like just like lowers the guard of these militia, and so eventually they just kind of like relax and just kind of like standing there like, oh cool, this is nice, this is a nice time we're having.
Oh my god.
How did the mother and child react?
I think the child had looked up when the song was playing, and he kind of like looks over and eventually, I mean, so he starts like slowly smiling throughout the performance. And by the end of it, you can see him like, right, like humming along softly. Yeah. It. And yeah, the mother's still kind of like wary, but like she seems also disarmed a little bit by the song. And I think you even see like a couple of people from other huts, like just kind of like look out, like, what is going on here? That's some beautiful music. And honestly, I think this is exactly what the village needed. And they a bunch of them just died, and they just had a horrible scare. And suddenly their village is just filled with beautiful music that's really calming and soothing. So good job, Tweety. Yeah. So I think unless you guys, I think what happens is Mickey probably like steps over to Ari, and he just says like, I don't know about you, but I'm a little lost. Because he's not understanding what's going on.
I just kind of shrug, and I'm just like, that's what you get for being just a bodyguard.
I think Darius like walks over to them and just starts explaining what's going on.
Okay, yeah, sure. So Darius explains like the situation.
Yeah.
The basics of it. Yeah, and I think Mickey kind of like nods, and he's like, well, so this is nearby where we need to go, the shrine?
Mm-mm. They
must know something about it, right?
Probably. Maybe Darius, why don't you go ask one of the soldiers if the shrine's nearby?
Good thinking. And Darius turns, and I guess I'll just walk up to the closest soldier.
Okay, yeah, sure. And he's like honestly like kind of pretty relaxed and disarmed by the song. So yeah, you just kind of step up.
Yeah. Does he look young or kind of older?
This guy looks pretty young.
Okay.
Yeah.
You, young soldier.
Yes. Can I help you?
How well do you know the area around?
So I'm definitely imagining this like as if we're like in Skyrim now, and you just like walked up to a random Skyrim guard and just like started talking to him, and he just like looks like awkwardly like turns to you. Yes, citizen. Right, like...
While you guys are having the conversation, someone runs up. I have a message for you.
Yeah.
What's wrong? I'm not talking to you.
So the guy like, the first thing he says to you though, Darius, is, I used to be an adventurer like you until I took an arrow to the knee. Yeah. So.
Oh, so you're married. That's what
you
that
haven't
means.
seen that game theory, have you?
No, I haven't.
When I took an arrow to the knee means they got married.
That's what one people.
Well, that's what a lot of people have been thinking.
It's a theory. Anyway, so you ask him, you young soldier, and he says, "Yes, can I help you?"
And yeah, Darius asked about how well do you know the surrounding area?
Yeah, I think you've touched on a little bit of a nerve with this guy. He's like, rather well.
Good. Do you know anything about do you know anything about any shrines to Xibalba nearby?
Yes. We have our local shrine that we take care of. It used to be of a little bit more importance. I think one of your companions mentioned the Dying Flame, the cult of the Dying Flame. They used to run it, but now Kabil has taken up the caretaking of the shrine.
Are there any others in this town or in your village that are interested in the shrine?
Not particularly. We mostly let Kabil handle the religious matters of the tribe.
Good.
That sounds ominous. Good. No one will mess with me when I go to the shrine.
What else do I want to ask? Can you point me in the direction?
Yeah, he kind of like looks up at the sun a little bit. He's like, I suppose it's that way, and he points north.
So it's north of where we're at?
Yeah, north of this village.
Okay. How far from here?
Yeah, he basically says like, I don't know, like an hour and a half, 2 hours travel. Something like that. Actually, no, he'd actually point south because it's near, he says it's like near the river.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's about that time when you like kind of finish that conversation with this dude that the Kabil walks back out. And he doesn't look happy about something. He looks kind of concerned. But he walks over to you, Toity, since you're kind of like probably standing right there.
Oh, I assume like I just finished the tune and then put it down.
Yeah, and he doesn't comment on the music. He seems distracted, and he's
doesn't appreciate fine art.
Look at that 30, dude. And then you know what Toity does when everybody like notices the song? He's like, check out my SoundCloud.
Toity's tunes.
Yeah,
I think it's Buck's SoundCloud, actually.
Yeah, it's true. Check out my friend Buck's SoundCloud. This is awkward. I don't have a SoundCloud. Anyway, so he, Kabil steps up to you, Toity, and he says, I am sorry for the interruption. Was there a particular reason, besides looking for the cult of the Dying Flame, that you came around these parts?
I turned to Raya like, yes, but I think that would be best explained by my friend over there. Raya? You kind of have the orb and everything.
Yeah, no, but I don't really want to tell them about that. So
do we want to?
I feel like keeping the orb on a down low is kind of a.
Well, no, I just mainly meant
I just kind of go.
I mainly meant that if there's anyone to explain that part, it would be her.
Right.
I just go. We're looking for some answers, and I think the cult of the Dying Flame has them.
Do I see? And does Darius see that Kabil's come back?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think Darius kind of starts walking up.
Yeah, so I think.
Yeah, I mean, I think I will too.
Yeah, the Miggy comes probably too.
I'm gonna reach out as soon as I see. I'll just kind of poke her, and cast tongues on her, so she can at least understand what's happening.
Yeah, there you go.
Really, you want to give me the power of language?
Understand? Maybe I don't necessarily.
Ari already has the power of language. Let me tell you.
So, are you casting?
But do you really want? Do you really want me to be able to say things?
Are you casting comprehend languages?
I can't cast comprehend languages on her.
That's
comprehend languages is self only.
Yep.
I mean, I'm fine with it. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I'll say, hey, all right, 1 second. I'll just. Well, actually, wait.
That requires the little.
Oh yeah, the little ziggurat.
Ziggurat.
No, that's the comprehend language.
I'll pull out that, and I'll just pull out that. Like I don't know how. I never described how I do this. I don't really know how I do it myself.
I don't either.
I'll kind of like scrape some of the dust off of it and like kind of scrape it on, like kind of like touch her chin.
Yeah, sure.
I'll bend down to you because I think I know what you're doing.
Like I'll just scrape it I'll scrape it on your ears and on your chin. It's like that should help.
Yeah, and then suddenly, like, where before you were just hearing, wah, 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 hello there, you know, that sort of thing, right? And you can suddenly understand what they're saying.
Right.
And then I think Miggy looks at you, Toity, and just so like, really?
It's all I got left, dude. Literally, I have no more spell slots.
I'll fill you in later. Don't worry.
He's like, it's fine. Yeah. So, what was the last thing that was asked? Oh, you, Darius, you asked about the Dying Flame, correct?
No, I didn't.
Or no, Mariah said, like, we're looking for the Dying Flame, but, like, we need answers. Okay. So I think he seems to think of something, and he says, well, there's a shrine nearby that was once taken care of by the Dying Flame. I've since taken over in their absence. They haven't been here for a long time, but if you're looking to find them, if you're looking to find answers from them, that might be a good place to start. It holds some secrets that even I haven't been able to uncover.
Thank you. I think we'll head there now as I kind of look everyone in the eye and say that.
Yeah, so I think he says, well, I suppose I should guide you then.
Please lead the way.
Yes.
Yeah, he seems to like nod to himself. He's like, yeah, this is a good idea. Cool. Yeah.
I think Darius kind of tries to, as they are going, he tries to walk alongside him,
I had a question for him too. Actually, I was gonna ask him
Okay.
before he
Go
forgets.
Yeah.
Real quick, Kabil, because he didn't actually. Did he use any sort of magic when we saw him?
Nope.
Do you know anything about the magical arts?
Yeah, I think he looks over and kind of like nods, and he's like, yes, I am, again, the town's resident spiritual advisor and magician of sorts.
Do you know anything about enhancing abilities of certain spells?
Right.
Oddly specifically.
Yeah, he frowns and he says, how so?
Well, you saw the little trick I did earlier where I jumped to you rather quickly?
Yes.
Trying to make it... Well, see, I found myself in a... When we were coming to the mainland, I found myself in quite the dilemma where it would have been helpful had I been able to bring one of my associates with me while I was doing it, and I found myself quite unable to. Been trying to figure out how to fix that.
Well, there are limits to any magical spell that one would attempt. You might just need to practice it more.
Okay.
I mean, you can push him further, but that's his initial answer.
Practicing in a specific way that you know of? This is a bit new to me in some sense.
Yeah, do you want to make a persuasion check for him? Because, I mean, you're just like this random dude who's also wearing the Betrayer's clothing that is
I know,
asking
but
about it. Like, just kind of like, he's not necessarily privy to just give you a bunch of information about things. And so I think he probably also, like, when he said, like, I'll guide you, I think he's like, you know, it's the least we can do for, like, least I can do for, like, you helping the village, like, you know, protect us, sort of a thing. Yeah, and I think he thinks about he's thinking about whether or not to say anything about this, and then I think he looks down, and so he has all these like charms and like voodoo sorts of dark, you know, not maybe dark magic, but like, you know, like voodoo sorts of weird magical trinkets and stuff on his like vestments. And he grabs, I think, a little like bone charm, and he kind of like holds it up, and he says, I have found that certain charms and trinkets do wonders in focusing one's abilities and possibly making them more effective.
I see.
I want to cast Detect Magic and see if it's magical at all.
Okay. Let me double check what's going on with him.
Just because it's near the end of the day, like.
Yeah.
That's the reason I did that too.
Yeah. I think there's some slight magic coming off of the various things that he's holding. Yeah. Seems like they're minor magic items of one sort or another.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, he's not totally like making up stuff or whatever.
Well, you know, like some people just believe things and it's not
true.
really true,
it's fair.
but it's like it helps.
Yeah, even in a world with actual magic, there are still people who believe in superstitions that aren't real magic.
Right.
So
where do you find said charms?
Oh, you don't find them, you make them.
Oh, okay.
And I think Darius is like kind of picking up like ear, like he's kind of got an ear in the conversation.
Yeah.
And he's like, focus, and like think, and like, he hears about the making, like, you use something that helps you focus it, and then he like pulls out the little thing of Ari.
Yeah.
And he just kind of thinks to himself, and he puts it back in his pocket.
Right. Am I gonna become your arcane focus?
Yeah. That's a little creepy, just gotta say, Darius.
Yeah.
Just
it might be what gives him the edge to
unlock it.
Yeah. But something else might actually become his arcane focus later.
I think with that, I think I have an idea of what I'm gonna do. Like literally, I think I have an idea. So I think I might leave it at that. And if what I want to do doesn't work, I might.
Yeah, no, I'm down with that. Yeah, that's fine.
He just makes a little door.
I have a question that nobody has asked apparently.
Yes.
What do you know about the caretaker?
He thinks about that. He's like, the caretaker. Are you referring
the god
to
of death?
Xibalba.
That caretaker. Right. Well, seeing that I am a priest of his, I would imagine I know something. What do you want to know?
Everything that you know.
Anything?
Anything. Those are two. Would you ask me a question, maybe?
How about you? Just
I mean,
give us a
Ari would be very
theology
blunt.
lesson?
That's the thing, is that I just feel like Ari would be so blunt. She's like,
No,
well, do you know that he's dead?
Do you say that?
As soon as he says, I'm like, I'm regretting so many things.
I mean,
Yup.
This
Hold
is
on,
why
hold on.
we don't let Ari speak.
Hold on,
I love
hold
it.
on,
I
hold
love
on.
it so much.
I've got it.
Okay. Yeah.
I
There's
mean,
a long silence.
I mean, she's just kind of shrugging, like,
Yeah. He just stares at
mean-
you. Darius, say anything?
I just
I-
kind of
I-
go. I kind of go. Ari, of course we all know that he's dead. He's the god
I'm
of
talking-
death.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
And I
that's
just kind of glare at you.
everybody's
All right.
stealing my thunder tonight. I
Seriously.
swear.
Sorry, Jordan.
what do you mean? What? How am I stealing your thunder? I'm
No,
just
not
asking.
you. M just
Oh.
said exactly what I was about to say.
Yeah,
And
people
I
keep
just,
interrupting.
glare
Jordan.
at you, like, don't say anything.
Yeah,
else
so
to this
Raya, would you
person.
like to make a deception check?
I mean, what's so wrong about my question? I don't
No,
understand
your
what's so
question-
wrong.
And I just
about
kind
my
of like give Toity a look, like, can you stop her from talking now?
Can you just dispel it?
I don't understand
think
what's
I
wrong
can.
with the question.
I don't think that. I mean, it makes total complete sense that she'd ask that. But my
I think everyone
thought
else
is-
wanted like a little bit more time to like ease him into that, maybe, if ever bringing it up.
I should have used my inspiration. I didn't realize I had it.
Ooh. Yeah, so I think he's like, no, wait a second. No. And like, it's technically not even true in the theology that he's like dead, right, as the god of death. And so he's like, what are you talking about? What's going on here?
Wait, so you're saying that he's not dead as the god of death?
No.
And I just keep like trying to go with it.
Yeah, and he just looks around and everybody's like, how are the rest of you like reacting to this?
I think Darius
like-
just has.
Go with me, people.
Miggy is just like really pale, like,
I'm
He doesn't know
silently
oh, it's
regretting
true.
my-
He's just like confused. He's like, what's going on?
It's
I'm
why
just-
you don't give me. Like,
I'm just
She
silently
warned you.
regretting my
but this is what she would ask. She's like,
Yep.
this is like the elephant in the room. Like, why are
Brady,
you asking
He
Why
this
just
question?
said, right, he
Where's
just said,
the-
I'm the priest of the god of death. Is like, it would be nice to like let this guy know that his god is dead, right?
Well, no, I'm just genuinely curious. I'm like, so you know he's dead, right? Like,
Yeah.
what are you doing about that?
Yeah.
Because we're trying to find a new one.
Yeah.
You should do the same.
So do you
No,
say
he
that? And
shouldn't.
do you continue with that line of inquiry, or do
No,
you?
no,
you just ask that
I'm-
question.
I just asked that question. I'm
Right.
just letting you know her thought.
Yeah,
process.
sure.
Do you
I
understand
think
the message
actually-
I'm trying to send
Da-
you?
I think Darius pipes in and he says,
Yeah.
"Let me ask you something.
Yes.
When do you ever speak to him or her?"
To him, thank you very much. I speak to my god.
I mean, I guess Darius already knew he was
in
in
my heart. Does anyone speak directly to that god? I have never heard of such a thing. Not in these
That's
days.
a
I mean-
fence.
I mean, never mind. Anyway, have
What are you trying to say?
noticed-
Why is this woman saying that my god is dead? Would someone please clarify this
He's
for me?
surely alive.
My god is not dead.
Surely alive.
He's living on the inside.
Roaring like a lion.
He's burning like a fire.
Burning like a fire. Yeah.
I mean, haven't you? I mean, you're a priest of his. Wouldn't you have felt that? Question mark. I don't know how priests work, but
Yeah, he seems offended. He's like, how dare you question... What is... Oh,
Or forgive her,
he looks
she's-
at you, Toity, and he says, oh no. No. This is... You betrayed him again, didn't you? They came from across the ocean, and they betrayed us again. And he starts to like step away slowly.
no.
Look, Ari. Let's just go to the shrine. We're not trying to
Listen,
cause any
we're
trouble
not-
here.
I'm not. I just thought this was an
And I just kind
obvious
of start
question to
dragging Ari
ask.
towards where the shrine is supposed to be.
Well, so just someone want to try to like assuage this guy's fears?
Yeah, I'll say it.
Okay.
I'm taking Ari away.
Right? It's just like, all right, come on, look this way.
I'll just say
I mean, I'm not gonna let you drag me away. Like I'm gonna
I would like opposing
elbow.
strength checks.
Okay, yeah, opposing strength roll, let's do it.
do it.
that will affect how I.
Is it just
respond.
a strength check?
Am I rolling a strength check or a save?
Strength check.
Okay. Nope.
Okay, yeah. So Ari gets led bodily away by Raya.
I just started to turn around. I say, "Sorry, forgive my friend. She's not the greatest with people. she doesn't quite know how to." See, I don't know exactly.
Phrase things correctly.
She doesn't know how to phrase. Yeah, she doesn't know how to phrase things quite as.
Keep her mouth shut.
Or keep her mouth. shut.
I honestly, like, in
No,
me as Alyssa,
that-
honestly, like, I felt like that was an obvious question. Like,
Yeah.
why is nobody asking this?
I
We're here to
feel like
find a
that is
caretaker.
exactly no, and I think it makes total sense for Ari to say that, but I think it also makes total sense that Toity and Raya and Darius would all just be like, I don't know if we should bring that up quite yet.
I'm just like, I used some magic to let her able to talk with you, and I'm starting to see now that was a mistake.
I will never do it again.
There's a reason I'm usually the one who takes care of these matters.
Right, so you can lie to them, so you can manipulate them. Is that what it is? Who are you? Why are you here? Why do you wear the betrayer's clothing?
Listen, and I don't want to get into the actual like long explanation of how we got into it. So kind of
Right.
talking about like we went to the cave, we found them, we found the stuff, we didn't know what it was, we found out later, but then we kind of gained the trust of them, and we found it was actually able to help us communicate with them better, and has actually saved them in a few areas.
Right.
With Ix and everything.
Do you mention a dragon?
Actually, maybe I shouldn't mention.
Do you mention like the cult of the dying flame then? Right, like that's probably where the angle
Why
you take.
do we care about this guy so much? Let's just leave and go to the shrine.
Because he has answers, possibly.
And
Because-
I don't think he
We need to find somebody. Like, why not just start asking everybody, hey, you want to become the god of death? Like, it's a cool gig.
People are just gonna kill us all and take the orb. Oh my god.
I mean, we don't have to have the orb.
You have no self-preservation.
I have my reasons behind. Anyway, so I just explained to her like we found like the remnants of the cult of the dying flame. We found out what they were. We meant no disrespect. We meant no disrespect in all this stuff. And the reason I've kept it around is because it's helped me actually talk, because I don't naturally speak primordial, so it helps me actually communicate with people.
So make a persuasion check. I mean, this
Which
guy.
is that even the truth? Isn't it the belt that lets you speak primordial?
No,
I don't
so
have a belt.
it was originally a belt. Remember, it's the belt of Dwarven kind, but we changed it to be a cape.
Yeah, I'm literally the only reason I keep
I was
it.
like, wait.
The main reason, I mean, it gives me a lot of stuff. The only thing I use it for is speaking primordial. That's pretty much okay. That and the stat increases.
Yeah. So go ahead and make a persuasion check.
There we
You're
go.
fine.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So the thing is, yeah, like he knows enough about magic and like stuff. He's not like a suspicious peasant person, right? Like, so he gets it, but he's still wary. You can still sense that he's like, all right, well, I mean, time will tell whether or not you try to kill me. But I guess for now,
I'll say like, look, if we came to your rescue because we want to help your kind, you at least trust us because of that.
and you can see in his eyes like, that's what the Guardian said, and he betrayed all of us.
Look, I understand what the Guardian did, but I'm not even the Guardian.
Oh.
I'm not his guard. I'm not the Guardian.
Right, but the way you phrased it was perfect because it made it sound like there was a Guardian. And I think we get a little bubble above Kabil's head that says Kabil will remember this. And then you guys keep walking.
Do you not just
Emily-
understand to shut your mouth?
No, I was saying like I'm not the same person that betrayed him is what I was trying to say.
Right. But you said I am not even the guardian. Oh, it's wonderful. It's great. I love it.
I don't think I said even.
You did. That was
totally
the exact phrase.
I didn't mean to say it then.
Well,
That's what you said, though.
Yeah. So, I mean, he's convinced for now. He's like, well, I mean, you still helped Saul, so I guess I'll lead you to the shrine. And
we didn't need to get led by anybody, guys. We have an Ari.
It's true. Well, so it does sound. I mean, I think he maybe even relates this to you as you guys walk there. He probably says something along the lines of like, I've set up like wards and like defenses and stuff. Like, it's probably good that I'm coming with you because, like, I mean, this shrine was supposed to be kept away from people. Like, people aren't supposed to desecrate it. So, like, I'm the person who takes care of it now. So
there's wards and stuff to keep people away from a shrine to worship and honor a god. But
well, I mean, you're getting the idea that it's less about worship, and more about
like preservation.
Yeah, there's some weird like thing that's being kept there, maybe, or like it has some sort of special importance. The place itself, you're unsure as to what it is.
I think Darius would like to ask him a question about Xibalba on the way. Do you know anything? First off, I guess, has Xibalba always been Xibalba? What I mean is has there only ever been one single god of death, or is it a role?
Let me make a check for him. Okay, yeah, this guy's pretty knowledgeable about all this stuff. So I think he says something along the lines of, why are you so interested in all of this? You're going after the cult of the dying flame, but why? You're asking questions about my god, but why? The woman over there mentions that he's dead. Why are you saying these things?
By the way, how long is this trip?
Remember, hour and a half, 2 hours.
Hour and a half, yeah.
Okay, good. So Ari won't be able to talk by the time we get there.
Okay, I will say,
I'm just like, yeah.
Your question totally made sense. I think Darius and everyone else was like wanting to gain his trust first to make sure it wasn't like, I'm gonna go tell the other guy and then they're all gonna like hate us and then we're not gonna be able to do anything.
You don't just walk into a village and go, hey, your god's dead.
I mean,
you didn't know?
That's just what Ari would have.
No, it totally
done.
Makes sense.
I mean, and plus the way she sees it, right, is that if this is a priest, right, who is supposed to be in tune with their god,
how do you not already know? Yeah.
They should already know.
Yeah. It seems like this guy doesn't. So.
Yeah.
So it's like, it just kind of seems like an obvious thing to her. Like, you should know. Like, why does this seem like, it just seemed like an elephant in the room to her.
Oh, no.
Like,
yeah.
Nobody is
everything that has happened has made perfect sense.
And I think Darius just says, like, after he's like, why? Darius just says, Xibalba has asked me to do something for him.
Xibalba has asked you. Who are you that he would ask you to do this? Why are you important?
And Darius just chuckles a bit. He'll know. And he just kind of looks down and just kind of glances at Deliverance.
Yeah, at his sandals, yeah.
I wish I knew.
Yeah, I think he catches your gaze, and with the way I've been rolling, I think this guy knows a bit about all this stuff, and so he looks down and he looks back up at you and frowns. Those aren't, and then just leaves it hanging.
They are.
So you're.
I don't know what I am, and I'm trying to find answers. Will you help me Can you help me understand?
Make a persuasion check.
Oh, this is something Darius should be good at now. come on. And let me figure something. Before I do this, I want to make sure this. Okay, that's only saving throws. Okay, good to know. You said persuasion?
Yeah.
And then it's a 1.
Okay. I think he says. So you asked him, like, will you help me?
Yeah, basically, will you help me understand?
Yeah, I think he says. I think I can shed some light on things, yes. Seems to nod to himself. I think there will be answers when we reach the Shrine of Xibalba. And then he glances back at Ari, and he says, I felt something. Several weeks ago. Some pain. Phantom pain in my chest. Is my god dead? Huntress?
Can she understand it right now?
Well,
How long has it been at this point?
It hasn't been that long, yeah.
I mean, are you all like staring at me now?
I think Darius is just like his head's down, like shadows are kind of like covering his face, and he's very somber. And before Ari answers, he just says, "Do you really want to know that answer? The answer to that?" And then Ari says,
Do you give it to him anyway, Ari?
I mean, honestly, like, I think she just looks at him and just says, why don't you ask the person who saw him die?
Okay, yeah. So
Oh my god.
he turns around, and this is the thing. You see some things clicking in his head right now. He's like, okay, all right. I'm getting this. And he looks back at you, Darius, and he says, so you're our deliverance, then?
Hold on, I've got a line that I've actually got Darius.
I prepared for this.
It's actually, I wrote it down in this, so I don't even need to. Do. So what did he ask again?
Are you our deliverance? Or something along, like, that you're our deliverance then, or something like that?
Honestly, I don't know what I am. I don't know who I am. I don't know what I am. I know that I'm not what I want to be. But I've learned to accept that fact. I only hope I am who I need to be.
Yeah. He nods slowly. And he looks around at the bunch of you with new eyes, seemingly. And he says, so we've reached the end, then. Interesting. And he just
They're
kinda, like,
doing-
keeps walking.
What?
I'm sure it's like we're doing our best to make sure that there is nothing
If
end.
he like tries to walk past me and keep going, I'm grabbing his wrist and I'm like, what do you mean by that?
And he looks back at you and he says, the god of death is dead. There is no guardian. There can be no hope.
That's not true.
There's still a chance.
How? The orb has been lost to us.
Ari's just like,
And so he starts talking as if you guys should know about stuff, right? Because he's put some pieces together. And so, yeah, he looks at you and says, what?
What happens if it's only partially true?
If what is only partially true?
What you said, that if it's only partially true that we don't have the guardian, the orb is lost, and the god is dead. What if just the god is dead?
He looks around.
What can the orb do? How would the orb help?
No.
Who's he saying no to and looking at?
Everyone. He's just
He's
pointing
like,
the finger
who is it?
who is it? Yeah, exactly.
Do we all just like we all like
We're all, like, look at
Raya at the same time?
Yeah,
I mean,
does everyone just
honestly,
look at
though,
Raya?
I don't know if I think Ari wouldn't. Okay, I don't know if I want to lie in this moment, but I'd be like, it's me, because I don't want him to.
Right. Okay.
I want to protect Raya. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. No. That
But
sounds like something Ari would
I mean,
do.
if Raya's like, no, it's me first.
Would you pause Raya before answering?
Well, he's just saying like no, and is looking around.
Yeah.
Like no one, like I'm not saying anything else. I'm just waiting for him to give me the
Like an
answer.
accusation?
Yeah.
What happens if it isn't all true? If it's only
Right.
partially true? If just the god is dead?
Yeah. So I mean, it sounds
That's
like
what
there's
I
an
really
opening,
just
Ari.
wanna
If you think of that and you're like, wait, I can immediately.
Well, I think it's obvious that he's like.
I think it is a little bit. Yeah.
So I mean,
Yeah. Do you want to say that?
I don't know, because I don't want to get on this guy's bad side and like roll a bad deception check.
Right.
Well, also, you're not even going to be able to speak to him in a little bit.
I know.
And do you?
So then he would know I'm lying then, because I can't speak to him, probably, right?
That's fair. Yeah, because the Guardian of the Orb
Yeah.
should be able to speak primordial. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna do that. That was
Yeah.
just a cool thought, though.
It was a
It
cool
was.
thought, honestly. Yeah, and if Ari could speak primordial regularly, that would have been great. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't look at Raya though, just because I don't want to tip him off that it's
Yeah.
her.
Sure. Quick question, real quick. Where's Mesnan? Did he?
Yeah, I was
is he
wondering
just kind of
about
like
that, too.
following?
Oh,
Like, at
I
a
probably would
distance?
have. I probably would have talked to him before he. Actually, that's a good point.
Maybe he just trailed us. I don't know.
That's what
a
I'm
good question.
assuming. Probably.
Wait,
just
did
trailed
he
you at a
only
distance.
speak? Okay.
He speaks
Because I
primordial.
feel like he wouldn't have gone into the village because it would have looked really
No,
bad.
he didn't.
Right.
So it's like, would we have just told him to stay somewhere?
I think I probably would have.
I
think
can
we
message
probably would
him.
have just
I
told
can
him to
send
stay
him a message like when we're ready for him to
Okay.
move somewhere
Yeah,
else.
I think that's fine. Yep. He just
Hmm.
nods.
And if he leaves, he leaves.
Yeah.
And
Okay, cool. Yeah. So anyway, he points around. No, and then there's a pause. He just seems like shocked and surprised, like he doesn't know what to say.
so you don't have an answer.
Well, if it's true, and he keeps looking around at you're like, one of you tell me, like, which one of you is it? And he says, if it's true, then I suppose, yes, there would be a chance. The orb is necessary for, and he looks at you again, Darius, for the role to be taken up again. Not everyone agrees on that point, but I've done enough study myself to know that is what the old legends say.
Do you know how it's done?
No. But I think I know who does.
And I
And,
think
yeah.
I think Darius like kind of turns aside and kind of like says to himself under his breath, like maybe in Dwarvish or something, "I swear if it's a will-o-wisp."
Yeah, and I think so does anyone say specific, that's probably where the scene cuts, but does he now know that Raya is the guardian? Is that revealed to him?
I wouldn't have said anything specifically.
He would have asked eventually.
Like I think if he eventually asked, I think Darius would have said, "We all are."
That's confusing.
Okay. I mean, he would be like, call you on bullcrap on that. He's like, nope, that's not how that works. I know about this stuff.
I would have
In
just...
effect, it turns out to be the same.
I think I would have just kind of said, why is it important?
I think he looks at Toity And you just kind of get the feel that it's like, as long as it's not him, I'm okay. because you have the cape and the rod. Like, if you also had the orb, like, he'd just be like, nope, it's another betrayer. Nope, this is the worst idea ever.
Yeah. And I think, like, he looks over at Twitty, and Darius is like, it's not him.
If I had a giant orb, you'd be able to see it pretty easily.
That's true. Yeah.
It'd be because that thing's like the size of my head.
Yeah. Yeah, and so he just kind of visibly relaxes, and then I think he looks at Raya, and I think he guesses. I think he says,
well, it would either be Raya or it would be Darius.
yeah, but I think he. Well, so the thing is, I think he says okay. So he looks at Raya and says this, knowing something that you guys don't know that would tip him off to that it would be Raya and not you. So he looks at Raya and says, "It's you then."
I mean, you had a 50-50 shot.
What, like I couldn't be?
You don't know what we're saying. Does she still know what we're saying at this point?
Yeah. It hasn't been an hour.
Well, I wasn't sure because you were like, he eventually will ask who it is.
Well, I mean,
does Darius know of the trials that it
Yeah.
takes to? Would Darius know like what trials are, like what the 3 trials are? Would that be something? That
no, because your memory wasn't intact of that.
Okay.
When you came back, yeah, you didn't remember that.
Okay.
Yeah, and Raya still hasn't shared with anyone any of that stuff going on.
I mean,
The point of reference, Raya did kind of just like obliterate some people in a cool way. Did anyone notice that or like commented at all or wonder? It's definitely a thing that Raya hasn't done before.
Oh, you mean like punch them with her mace?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, Ari kind of saw one of the attacks.
Yeah, I mean, it might just be easy to just assume, oh, she got orb power up. Okay, but like,
Yeah.
I mean, and the way she saw it, the way she was probably angled was she probably couldn't see it. I mean, she just stabbed it with the mace, and then it.
yeah.
I don't.
Darius probably told.
I don't think anyone was looking her
I don't
direction
think
at
anybody
all.
noticed.
Yeah,
No,
now that
no,
I'm thinking
Darius
about it.
probably might have because he was facing the opposite direction because he got behind.
Mm-hmm.
So like out of the corner of his eye, he might have seen like what? Okay.
What's she doing? Yeah.
That mace seems a little bit more powerful than it should be.
Mm-hmm. If I know anything about physics, and I don't because I have 8 intelligence. Yeah.
So at that point, I kind of just go 50-50 shot.
Right.
Guess.
And he looks at Darius and he says, well, it can't be him.
And
I kind of just ask because of the sandals.
Do you not? Wait. How much do you guys know? Do I know more than you?
Well, you see, that's kind of why we need your help.
I think Darius.
Well,
says,
you guys started talking about the god of death dying and the orb, and I was like,
I just
okay.
kind of shake my head and I'm just like, I told you we came here for answers. I guess you just didn't realize what questions we had.
Fair.
I think Darius says, we probably know just as much as you, maybe a little less, but we don't know what you know, and you don't know what we know.
So, we should exchange information then?
I mean, I'd appreciate more information about what I got myself into.
And I would also like to know what I've gotten myself into. And he looks back down at the sandals. Literally.
Yeah. Yeah. I think he shrugs. He says, which one do you want me to answer first?
Darius points to her. Points to Raya.
So you're the guardian.
Yep. In the flesh.
Can I?
Don't say flesh.
Was it promised?
Boo.
Yeah, so he says, can I see it? The orb, I mean.
At the shrine.
All right. Well, you're the guardian, so the orb. How did you get the orb?
Well, it spoke to me, and then I touched it, and then I got told that I had to be the guardian.
So
Well, I kind of had the choice, but it was either that or I'm pretty sure it would have fallen into the hands of the Yuan Ti.
Well, and he seems conflicted at that. He's like, I mean, I would rather it would have gone to a fire genasi, but like at least you guys made sure it didn't go into a Yuan Ti's hand. So I guess I have to thank you for that, kind of.
I'm not the first one.
Yeah. And so he says, so you found it on the Isle of Solemn Graves. That makes sense. That was the Guardian's home for quite a while. So, I don't know a whole lot about the orb itself, but I do know about, or I don't know, actually he probably says it the other way around. I don't know a whole lot about what it takes to be the Guardian, but I do know a bit about the orb itself. And then I think he kind of just like relays some of the information you already know, right? Like, some of the basics about what the orb is and why it exists and what it can do. Like, you know, it can control anything related to death, that sort of stuff, right? And then he says, I think he says, and one of the orb's primary uses was to keep the god of death, well, doing his job, working, alive. It would give him strength. And he starts describing a very similar, like, a familiar process to any of us who've, like, read Lord of the Rings. Like, it sounds, or watched it, like, it sounds similar to, like, Sauron pouring his essence into the One Ring, that sort of thing, right? Where he, like, put some of his force into the ring so he could, like, get more power and stuff. But the way that Kabil phrases it wasn't, like, a maniacal way, obviously, just more of, like, he needed more control over death, and so he wanted to, like, make this to make him more powerful and be able to do his job better, sort of thing. And then he says something about, he mentioned something about, like, but the orb showed him things that he didn't. Basically, he phrases it weird, but he says something along the lines of he didn't want the orb after he made it. Like, he made it to use it himself, but then realized somehow that, like, he's like, I don't want this. And so he gave it to a Fire Genasi priest of his to keep. And then that began the line of guardians. And so it was initially made for him to use, but then he decided he didn't want to use it. For whatever reason. Kabil himself is unsure on that point. But yeah, that's basically any of the new information that you guys don't know about, that he knows about the orb.
What do you know? What is my purpose?
When the god of death was alive, it was to help him. It was to do his bidding. The orb was supposed to give the guardian quests, missions, a compulsion to do something, whatever the god wanted him to do. Have you felt something like this?
I was supposed to save him, but I had the orb for maybe an hour before I felt it too.
Right.
And now I'm supposed to find a replacement.
He looks up at that. He says, wait, the orb gave you a geisha after the god of death was dead?
I just kind of go, I don't really know very much more than you.
That's not supposed to happen. The god of death is the one who gives the geishas. He gives them specifically.
I'll be right back.
Oh, Darius is kind of the god of death.
Yeah, he says, like, who gave you the geisha?
Do I know?
Nope.
I'm just kind of like.
But there's no caretaker.
Does Darius know?
Right.
I don't think he does.
Is that something else that he kind of forgot?
I don't know. I think.
I mean, so hold on. We all know that he was the temporary caretaker. Could we all like make intelligence checks to try to piece that together?
No. You guys don't know that. Darius
knows that. Also, I'm not even sure if anyone else knows that Darius watched him die.
Yeah, I was thinking about that.
No, but I mean, I think Ari just kind of said it like, well, he was there when it happened.
Right.
Kind of
Okay.
Well,
he was dead. Yeah.
Sense.
It was more of a symbolic
that makes
thing.
Sense.
I now that I'm thinking about it, I do think that Willow mentioned that he was the
she did mention that.
caretaker.
Remember, because he was like he got fired because he didn't do a good job. He broke a rule.
But I still.
So that's why I'm wondering, can I make some kind of intelligence check to like see if I can put that together?
You can put that together, no problem. Yeah, that can be a thing you can think of. Yeah.
I mean, has it been an hour?
It's getting close. Like you're about to run out.
I keep going. Like, can Ari still talk to him?
I mean, I think she's just like, maybe that was Darius's final wish before he got fired.
And so Darius, she says that you don't remember anything like that. And so the thing is, I will neither confirm nor deny whether or not Darius actually did do it, but you certainly don't remember doing it.
Yeah. I mean, I think even as a player, I have an idea of when it might have happened.
You know, I think Ari actually says that in Dwarvish to him. Like, did you do that?
Yeah.
And Darius turns back and he just sends back in Dwarvish. There is so much that I don't remember about that place.
Yeah.
I mean, I just thought I'd check. Seems like something you do.
Wait, just real quick. I feel like it's important. What exactly
What's
did
that
I miss?
supposed to mean?
Oh,
no,
yeah,
it seems like something you do. Like, try to like be responsible and make sure that somebody fills the role. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, yeah. Sorry,
She's like laughs. She's just like, I'm not insulting you, Darius.
Sorry, I was mistaken. I thought she was accusing Darius, like saying something about him getting fired. Like, yeah, that's something you would do. You get fired.
Right.
No.
So what? Real quick, what did I miss? Because I feel like it was important.
Yeah, you missed. Basically, they were having a conversation, Raya and Kabil, and basically, Kabil was like, okay, yeah, so the orb or the god of death through the orb gives the guardians missions, and
Raya was
like, yeah, I got a mission, and it was to save the god of death, and then he died, and then I got another mission, and Kabil was like, wait, you got another mission where the god of death was dead? That's not supposed to happen. The god of death gives the missions. Who gave you the mission, Raya?
And I'm like, oh.
And then Darius is like, I don't know.
Oh, and that was the wish that Ari was okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Ari kind of just thought, did Darius do that?
Yeah, and Darius doesn't remember whether or not he did it. Yeah. Yeah, so I guess, I mean, if that conversation tapers off, I guess he looks to you, Darius.
Well, does he have anything to say to me else besides,
Nope.
I carry out death's wishes? Cool.
No, not really.
And now I hear wah 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 wah.
Yeah.
I'm like,
yeah, here we go.
Do I can I visibly notice whenever it starts to wear out?
Sure. Yeah, how far visibly reacts to it.
Like, I feel like it probably happens like as they're speaking in Dwarvish or something, maybe.
Sure.
So, Darius just says to her in Dwarvish, "I'll fill you in later."
it's fine.
I'm
Honestly,
used to it.
probably better not for me not to know if you guys are gonna react like this every time I talk.
Oh no.
And I kind of just go, we were going for subtlety.
Does she does
Oh, and do you speak Dwarvish?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, then yeah.
It's just Toady who
Yeah,
doesn't know
I
Dwarvish.
do. Yeah, Toady
I don't-
doesn't know Dwarvish.
I don't
know
care.
Primordial.
I could hear them if I really wanted to by casting comprehend languages, but
Sure. Yeah.
And I think Darius kind of just says back to Ari, "No, I think what you did actually worked out."
She just kind of nods and like mouths like a thank you to him.
I think, why weren't you saying it in Dwarvish if I was the only one who could understand?
Well, she was talking to Darius originally.
Yeah, it was originally just her
yeah.
talking.
I think they just forget that I know Dwarvish.
I think it's probably what it is.
I mean, I think that's just how she actually prefers to speak to Darius, is in
makes
his native language.
Yeah.
That's just what she just likes to switch back and forth between languages. She finds languages fascinating, and it frustrates her that she doesn't know primordial.
Oh yeah. Oh man, I forgot. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, see, that'd be a good reason to do it. You do it because now I can't understand
So
you.
I like to think. So this is the thing, right? It seemed like Ari picked up Giant, like the ogre, New World ogre, really quickly. But I think maybe there's something about the primordial language that's just eluding you, where you're just like, I should be able to do this, but like I can't figure it out, and it's just still you don't get it. You don't get the syntax, you don't get the grammar. It's all weird, and you're like, what is wrong with this language?
Yeah.
Maybe it's non-functional.
Yeah.
I mean, supposedly it's their common, so it should be fairly easy, but I'm just like,
I mean, English is.
It's probably like English, though, honestly, where like English does not make any sense.
That's true. It's true.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think she just turns back to Miggy. How many languages does Miggy speak? Does he only speak common?
He speaks common and halfling.
Okay.
That's all he speaks.
Yeah, so I mean, I think I just withdraw
maybe
from the back and just like fill him in on what's going on.
I think he might also speak celestial.
What?
Because that's like Latin in the setting.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. For the ASMR.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, so I guess he turns to you, Darius, and he says,
So Terra Nullius is celestial?
Yep.
Oh.
Phrase Terra Nullius is in celestial. Yep.
That's nice.
Yeah. So he turns to you, Darius, and he says, so you don't know that much about those. The sand.
Unfortunately, not. I know they are delivered.
Yes. They were worn by a long dead. He seems to think about what word to use here. Hero.
Can I like see if he's like
Hiding information from you?
well, like just to see if hero is really what he's thinking?
Yeah, make an insight check.
I'm not super insightful.
Nope. Yeah, so you miss it.
Okay.
You don't know what he said. Yeah, and so I think he continues and says, it was worn by Quetzalcoatl.
Crap, how do you spell it?
We've heard about him before.
Quetzalcoatl.
Yeah, I was gonna say we've definitely heard that name before.
You have heard that name before.
Was that the guy? Was that the statue guy?
It was the statue guy. What'd you say, Emily?
I can't remember what it is in this world besides like what it is just in Aztec.
I mean, it's basically what it is in Aztec, yeah.
I know, but that's what I'm like, I can't remember where we had found it in this world before.
Yeah, I think basically Willow mentioned it, I think.
I thought it was Itakali.
Or Itakali. No, Itakali mentioned it, yeah.
And because she met us at the statue the first time.
Yes, that's what it was. Yep. Because it was the statue. That was the statue of Quetzalcoatl. And so apparently he's like the god of wisdom. And so I think he says this, and so I think you realize it now, Darius, where you didn't quite realize it before. He said hero because he was hoping that you wouldn't recognize the name of this. He would have said god, but he's like, I don't want to go there. Like, let's just say it's a guy. And so he says Quetzalcoatl, but Darius is probably like, oh no, you weren't there. So yeah, you don't know this.
Whoa, wait, I wasn't there when?
This was when they were having that conversation with Itakali.
You were still dead.
Darius is still dead.
No, this was when we first got to the flesh tunnels.
No, because you couldn't talk to her then. Toity was only talking to her.
Right.
It was after the fact that she mentioned, you were by the statue of that one dude, but it wasn't mentioned the first time.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No.
So Darius doesn't
probably hears
Toity understands the significance of what he just said. For sure. And probably Raya too. Right? You can tell that he just tried to downplay who this guy was and said hero instead of god.
I'll keep listening to hear where he's going with that. Did he continue with that?
Yeah, I guess he probably says, he finishes up and says something along the lines of, like, this ancient hero wore the sandals and died nobly, like, protecting, I think he says, in the war between She of the Jade skirt and the caretaker, right? Like that whole conflict that happened there, that sunk Catholic or part of the continent.
So, did he know the caretaker?
He knew the caretaker very well. They were good friends.
Don't you more mean kind of brethren, in a sense?
Do you say that?
Yeah.
He looks at you and he's just like, I don't know what you're talking about.
If you're not going to be forthright with us, then how do you expect us to give all our information to you?
Darius like turns back to her and like just kind of glances back between them both.
Yeah.
What are you talking about, Raya?
Darius, you remember that
No.
Hmm?
Let's let our friend here tell us.
Well, I was just gonna tell him about the statue, but
Yeah. So he kind of frowns at Uriah. He says, the reason I said hero and not god is because there is some question as to whether or not Quetzalcoatl was truly on... Or no, sorry, he says, was truly divine at the end. A strange thing happened of ripping of his divinity from him in the conflict. I believe he may have died as a regular mortal. Or something worse. But yeah. So he's just like, you want honesty? Okay, honesty, I guess.
and I just kind of turned to Darius and say like,
Thank you.
I turned to Darius like, remember the statue we ran into when we first met with Tokale?
And I think when he says that, like in show format, we get like a flashback to when like Darius
Right.
was there and he was like doing the intimidating thing, and it almost looked like the statue was like he was like it almost like there was some
Matching
sort
the
of-
statue with
Yeah.
temperance.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Darius kind of just thinks back to that.
Turns out Quetzalcoatl is also played by Jason Momoa.
He's like the Thor of DC. I do remember. I remember the statue.
Yeah, so he basically says, just as Quetzalcoatl was fated to deliver, or no, so basically I think what he says is actually, Quetzalcoatl was the one who created the sandals in the first place. He used them to, well, give him great strength and speed in battle against She of the Jade Skirt and her forces, but he also, in a fit of, well, not madness exactly, because Quetzalcoatl was the wisest and most intelligent god to ever exist. In a fit of
I'm not going to
clarity.
fit-
What?
I think with Darius, like in his own head, well, I'm screwed. I'm not going to fit that role very well.
Right.
He just kind of says that in his head.
Yeah. He says, in a fit of clarity, maybe, he prophesied over the sandals and said that the next wielder would deliver the Tlacanoli from their oppressors. This was said only days before the end, before he died. He was buried with him.
Do you know anything else that the sandals allowed him to do, or what all he embedded into them?
Well, as I said before, strength, speed, battle readiness, things of those caliber. What have you been able to do with it?
Jump really high.
Just like jump and stuff.
Yeah, a really good basketball player.
Mm-hmm.
I think. Are there like any trees or anything nearby?
Yeah.
And Darius just kind of like sees a nearby tree, and he runs up to it, and he just jumps up and lands on the branch. Using
We hear like. Oh man, I'm gonna have so much fun. Jordan, we're gonna put a gong sound effect every time that happens in the podcast. It's gonna be amazing.
Well, also using when Raya uses her mace or something too.
Like the.
It only
the
does
droplet
it with a nat
initiative.
20.
Oh yeah,
that's right.
We discussed this because I was like, is it possible for every time I hit for there to be thunder sound? And you were like, no, that's not a thing. And I was like, what if I crit? And you were like, I can't. Okay, I can. I'll allow.
I don't know. That doesn't sound like me. So, yeah, that's what they said.
Okay, and so yeah, Darius.
Oh yeah, you jumped right. Sorry.
Yeah.
So yeah, he nods, says, "Impressive."
I like look up and like show off.
Is that it?
Actually, no. You know what he does instead? He doesn't. He runs over, grabs Toity, and jumps up with him into the tree.
Sure.
You can warn me next time.
So here, Toity shrieking. Okay, oh man, I'm picturing this in the podcast already. Seth doing that shriek right there, layered over with a gong sound. Perfect.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry, I was talking about the podcast. We're gonna have to edit out.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine. I've got plenty of editing to do for all of these anyways.
It's true. So, yeah, I mean, he says the same thing, like, impressive. Is that all you can do with it?
So it's the strength and it's the speed and
you also get advantage on athletic checks when you're swimming. And
Did I do
the
that
sandals
whenever?
float. That is also a thing. That's true.
Was that something that we had already established?
Yeah.
Okay. So he like jumps down. They help me to, as you have said, they have helped my speed. I'm not as. Oh no, sorry. I'm a little more agile for my size than I normally would be. And they certainly help. Well, jumping.
I can see that.
Did I have the sandals whenever we went and I was fighting the alligator?
No, that was before. Because you found the sandals in the shrine above the flesh caves.
Yeah.
And,
Well, I just didn't know if that was before or after.
no, the lizard folk, because remember you guys were going around.
Lizard Folk was like episode
Yeah.
I feel
3 or
This is
so.
like first season, yeah.
It was first season. It wasn't episode 3.
No,
when
no,
the lizard fight happened, or the crocodile fight happened.
It was
No.
Is that
like
what you're talking about?
8 or something.
7.
Really?
It was 7.
I feel like that was so
Yeah.
early.
It was 7.
I mean, 7 is early still.
It is still. Yeah, this is episode 26, guys.
Yeah. So yeah. So I guess Darius knows that it can do it. I also know that they float in water, and that would help me in the event I were to swim again. But I'm not very keen on.
They float? Why
Hey,
would
are
they
you
do
still in
that?
the tree at this point?
I think we jump back. No, I
Yeah.
grabbed this. We
Okay, because I was saying.
What?
at
You
this
jump
point-
down and leave Toity up there.
What are you saying, Caleb?
Oh, he says they float? Why would they need to do that?
You know, I don't know exactly. It's a handy, fun thing. I don't know. But
Sometimes they just take them off and put them in a pool of water and just watch them for a little while. But
at the very least, I mean, in the event that I ever have to go swimming again, which I'm not very keen to do,
you get a flashback to the crocodile scene.
and like he like gets the flashback and goes back to Darius and he just kind of shudders and shakes his head. I should be okay. I think they will help me with that.
Well, there must be more that they can do then. Something you just haven't discovered.
That's what I figured. And like when he says that, it kind of clicks as like. Speaking of, do you know anything about?
So he's
this?
already handing you. I think he's like he takes like a necklace off of him because he has all these charms and stuff. It's like a feather necklace, and he just like takes it off and he just hands it to you. This might help.
Okay, he Darius kind of like cocks his head a bit. Okay,
It's a big feather too. Like it's one singular huge feather on this like necklace.
Okay, so Darius like cocks his head a bit and he like gingerly grabs the feather and just kind of looks at it for a moment and looks back at him.
Wear the necklace.
And he puts it on.
And he's like, "You feel anything?"
Do I feel anything?
No.
And Darius kind of looks down at it.
Well,
it's
try
soft.
doing something.
Like, okay. Is we're like by the river, right?
Yeah, you're pretty close.
Okay.
I assume you guys have
Okay.
been kind of talking and walking at this point.
Okay. I think Darius like runs over and like jumps up into the air and like tries to see if there's a I guess first he checks to see like where maybe a low spot in the river is. Somewhere that he could like go into a little bit and then jump back out.
Okay. What are you trying to do exactly?
See if there's anything with the water like.
Are you trying to jump on water?
Player Jordan is like, I wonder if I can walk on water with the sandals.
Would you like to make a charisma check to see if you can walk on water with the sandals?
Well, no. That's what Jordan is thinking. Darius is thinking like, I'm just gonna try something. I know it does this thing with water.
Yeah.
So he's gonna like. I think Darius's plan is he's gonna like try to jump into the water and find a spot where he can like just jump back out and see maybe if the water carries him up or something. I don't know.
Yeah, sure. Okay, yeah, make a charisma check.
Charisma check.
Nice.
Yeah, you walk on water.
Crap!
You just boom, land.
And like Darius lands, he's like.
The guy is just staring at you. Kabil just stares at you, just like this. I've never heard any stories about this.
And then okay, I want to jump down there and go. You're not so special.
He's just a
cast
waterfall.
waterfall.
Yeah, I can do that too. I did it with your dead corpse once. Oh.
I've only walked on water with Darius.
This is the second time we've walked on water with Darius. Dang.
But yeah,
So,
you have unlocked this feature. I mean, so basically, I think as the water walk spell probably. Let me find.
It's a 3rd level spell.
So like Darius kind of like looks around and realizes what's happening, and he just gets a grin, and he kind of looks at Toity, and he like starts dancing a little jig.
And then you realize, so what happens, Darius, is you realize you're still being swept downstream though, because the water you're standing on top of is moving, and this is the Amazon.
And he's like, oh, and he's like starts running
back. Yeah.
I mean, he's fast enough now. Everybody's probably walking.
Yeah. So basically, once per day, you can cast water walk, just instantaneously. You just have to step on water and say you're gonna do it. It doesn't cost an action or anything. But yeah, once per day you can do this, and it lasts for an hour per the spell.
Sweet.
Yep. But yeah, I mean, now that you're standing on the water, you can feel the feather kind of like, there's a weird energy coming off of it, it seems like.
And does Darius, you said there's a weird energy?
Yeah, just like, weird feeling around it. Something's happening. It's working! It's working! As you start your pod racer.
And Darius like goes back and rejoins them, and he just kind of like grips the feather again. Thank you, I greatly appreciate it. There are some other things that I've been trying to learn to do, and he like starts to like conjure up the sort of magic that he's been able to get in his hands. And he's like starts focusing a little bit, and he kind of shows, but I'm having a hard time controlling it.
Yeah, he just looks at you like, oh, I have never seen anything like that before in my life. What are you doing?
And Darius kind of like dispels it and shrugs like, I have no idea.
What did you get? Like, is that part of the sandals too, or?
No, this is just kind of a thing that happened when I came back to life.
You forgot to mention that part.
Yeah, a fun story.
Yeah, so I guess you kind of just like give him a brief explanation of what happened.
Yeah, I give him the brief of it.
Yeah, the very brief of it. Yeah,
without diving into the fact that I'm the reason the god of death is dead.
No, of course you don't tell that part. Yeah.
I think Darius is the only person who knows that at this point.
Oh yeah, you were.
Like, does Willow know?
That's what I was literally just wondering.
Like the only
no, she doesn't. She doesn't because she lost all of her memories again, right when he died.
Right.
Remember?
So Darius knows.
That's
and
it.
The Reaper knows.
Yeah, and Death himself knows. Yeah, sure. Because Death knows everyone who dies.
Yeah.
And who killed them.
Yeah. Okay.
He's familiar with victims and murderers alike.
So. Yeah, Darius kind of explains that bit to him.
Yeah, I mean, he says, well, I mean, the feather, it's kind of what it does. So if you just want to try something, maybe it will help.
He like shrugs and then pulls out temperance.
And I think you can tell that this guy is like kind of somewhat, he's still weirded out by this entire situation and very overwhelmed, but like he's happy like because like you can tell that he doesn't get to talk to people with magic very often. And so he's just like, oh, you have magic too? Let's talk about it. Let's do stuff.
So I think Darius like pulls out temperance and he like starts to conjure the magic and he just like touches temperance with it.
Okay, what do you want? Is there a specific thing you're doing?
There is a specific spell I'm trying to cast.
Okay, well, I mean, let's have you do a charisma check, like usual, to attempt this. You can do this with advantage because of the feather.
Sweet. Nope.
Even with the feather. Yeah, it's just still difficult for Darius. It's so difficult. Yeah, just fizzles out.
And he like just breathes deep and sighs. Well, it was worth a shot. And he puts does he say anything about temperance while I have it out?
No, he doesn't really recognize it.
Okay.
I mean, everyone has a Makaweedle around these parts, so.
Okay. And he puts temperance.
If you asked him about it, he might be able to tell you something about it, but.
Yeah, I don't think it's like in Darius's radar right now.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Puts the Makaweedle up and then. No, I think that was it. That was all I was gonna. There was something I was gonna write something on my bio thing, but I forgot what.
But yeah, so I think as we're kind of like wrapping up here, is there anything else last second that you want to do before?
I wanted to do something if we were gonna like rest for the night, but that's it.
Yeah, so basically I think what happens is you guys get to the portion of the river where apparently the temple is. And so I'm gonna show you guys a handout, show you what this temple looks like. Shebang.
Oh.
So it is on the river itself.
Ooh.
And it looks like that.
Okay.
Well, perfect, and I can just walk on over there.
It's
and so
true,
can
yeah.
I. So Darius is like. Boop, boop,
And
boop, boop, boop.
I can beam myself over there.
I mean, you could. Darius could just pick you up and drag. Like.
I'm like, I'll just stay over here. I'll keep watch.
I think what Darius like.
I mean, I'm a good swimmer, but I don't.
I think Darius like.
It's the Amazon.
I think Darius like gestures for Ryan and Miggy to both like grab onto his shoulders.
Well, I mean, yeah. So I mean, I would assume that we would kind of like leave it off like as you kind of get in view of this, right?
Okay.
Depending on what. So I guess the question would be: are you just? I mean, you could just like go across now and rest there, but it's like it's night basically.
I'd say it's probably best to wait when it's light out.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to walk on dark water.
Yeah, camp on the river's edge and go over in morning.
On the river's edge.
I have one thing I want to do before bed.
Sure. Yeah.
Is it safe to say I still have some sort of token from Oatly?
Oh yeah. No, I mean you still have that necklace that he gave you.
Well, no, because I was gonna give it back to his daughter as like a.
Oh yeah. I mean, if you did give that back to his daughter, then you do. I don't know what else he would have of Oatly's.
Maybe
That would've been so nice.
would there have been
Like he
something
wasn't
like-
wearing anything else. He had that and like a loincloth.
Would she have accepted? Well, she would. I would have wanted to give that to her because it was like her father's.
No, yeah, and I honestly think that was probably one of the things that like helped, like
Mhm.
transition all the diplomacy stuff and made the ogres on your side.
What about would we have gone back to the tower and kind of cleaned it out and looted everything out of there before we left?
Yeah, I mean you could have.
So what
Would
about
I-
Yum Jacob?
Yum Jacob is buried.
Yeah,
Oh, Yum Jacob.
yeah, they.
Well,
buried
what
him.
about the chamber that he was in?
I mean, yeah, he lived there for a while. There might be something there of his. that you could-
Actually, would we have found Akali's body?
No, I think they
Okay.
fed all of the bodies to their Spinosaurus.
Oh.
Ew.
Here's the thing. I'm trying to. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to think of what I can make it into a charm. And I
Oh,
don't
right.
actually have a lot on me.
I mean, you could try to. I mean, do you have any toolkits? You have a disguise kit.
I
right?
have an entertainer's pack, which doesn't have anything exciting.
No, so right. I mean, like in terms of like rolling, like toolkits. Besides the disguise
I have a
kit.
disguise kit.
Is that it?
Let's see what's in a disguise kit.
I don't think you can make.
What is in a disguise kit? It's not even in here. What?
It's just a thing you can roll to disguise.
I'm
yourself.
just saying a disguise kit. Well, okay, no, there's a specific way. Toy had an idea of how he was going to make this
Okay.
Thing. I'm just trying to think of something he could enchant, essentially. Disguise, here we go. I don't know if I could consider that. I might. You know what I might have done?
Mhm.
When he said because he said he showed me like a charm or something like that you take like a charm and said it's like a bone or something.
Yeah, it was like a little bone necklace. Yeah.
I might have like gone to like one of the flaming skeletons.
They are all ash.
Oh, they all ash.
Yeah.
Okay.
You should enchant your bronze crown.
I don't know if I have that with me.
Yeah, it doesn't
Because I
seem
was
like
thinking
the
that too.
a thing to bring on a giant jungle expedition.
Yeah, it didn't seem. It seemed important.
Would you
to
like
me.
a diamond?
I need something. I don't know. Okay.
Don't
can I?
use one of your
Would Raya
diamonds.
just give him a
It's
diamond?
not one of my special diamonds. It's just another diamond that I happen to have.
Oh, okay.
Guys, who do you think I am? A peasant? Of course I have diamonds.
I am nobility.
Dang it.
Let's look at the.
Wait a second. I have an
Beautiful
Would you
idea.
like to enchant a shiv?
Wait, I have
This is
an
my
idea.
shiv charm.
Or does it not show? You know what I think I'll do? I'll take one of the chips of mica I use to cast shatter.
Yeah, you have all these
There
like
we'll
random
go.
stones that you.
I'll like
Very fragile.
is mica really that fragile?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
like flaky.
Maybe that's why it shatters.
Yep.
Yeah.
Dang it, I have no
Sorry,
components.
just one.
Can-
Would you like a diamond?
I don't want a diamond. I want something essentially I can turn into a necklace, and that's gonna be hard with a diamond.
I was
Is
about
there-
to suggest a belt, but then you said a necklace, and I'm like, that's.
Can I
that
I
would be a
search
little
around?
morbid.
Can I search
Tied a
around?
belt around his neck.
That is
Can I
not how
search
it
around the area
Yeah.
to see what kind of things I can find?
Yeah. Would you like to make a survival check?
What about one of the bones from the Dranasi?
Huh?
Wait, from the what?
No, I already asked you about the flaming
Toity
skeleton.
finds something.
Oh yeah, the
I
flaming genasi or ash. I thought you meant like
You find something just fine.
like
You
a
roll a crit.
like an actual live person, just like rip out some of their rib cage. Yeah, that's fine.
He
What?
rolled a natural 20 on his.
What do I
What?
find?
What does he find?
What do you want to find? What do you want to find in the jungle?
I don't know, something that seems charm worthy. Like I want to, like I don't know.
Maybe. How about like a petrified piece of wood or something, or like a petrified stone, or something that's, or
what if you find a
petrified sap.
I think you find a shiny like blue-green stone.
I
near
like
the river.
that. So I'm sorry, I'm writing this down.
No, you're good.
Okay, so I find that, and I think like, okay, this is going to be it. This is going to be my charm.
Uh-huh.
And as we set down camp, I'm just gonna, you know what? Toity really doesn't know what he's doing, but he has an idea.
Uh-huh.
He knows that his words have magic laced in them
Uh-huh.
somehow.
Yeah.
So he's going to.
He's gonna whisper
Look,
to
you
the stone.
stupid.
No, not just that. He knows that somehow he's able to use his music and his words to create magic. So what he's gonna try and do is pretty much what I'm doing. I have 6 spell slots left. I have 4 1 levels and 2 2-level spell slots. It's the end of the day. I'm just going to essentially
Barrage this stone with magic.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, Tony doesn't know. He's like, you use this. I have magic. I'm gonna try and use my magic on the stone. It just, and if you want to, for any particular spell, just
what kind of particular spells are you using? I'm curious.
well, I don't have a lot at that level, unfortunately.
Mhm.
But I figured dissonant whispers, just because it like
The stone runs away from you.
well, because the thing is, like, the whole idea is I want to try and make this dimension door. Well, here, okay. Now this is what I was originally going to do, and let me know if this is okay with you, because it technically I don't have a target for this in the sense. I'm trying to essentially make this dimension door bigger. So one of my idea was to use sort of the magic behind it, even though it doesn't actually work with it exactly, of healing word and calm emotions. Kind of the idea of like loot. Is that too much of a stretch?
I don't know where you're stretching.
Okay.
I don't understand.
I'm trying to maybe Oh, here's an idea. Oh, okay. This might work on a more flavorful thing. I might cast. Well, part of the problem is I don't have anything to use my first level spell slots with. It's healing word, comprehend languages, thunderwave, and dissonant whispers. Not much there. The other idea I have that I just had is, shatter I usually cast on a piece of mica. So what I'm thinking I'm going to try and do is have do that same sort of magical spell, but try and do it through this stone instead.
Right, but it's still just a regular stone right now, right? So...
I know, but the idea being like, I want to try and infuse it with
Wouldn't
some
it
sort
just
of magic.
shatter it at that point?
I don't know.
What are you casting? Shatter?
Well, because here's Toity's thinking.
Okay.
Shatter causes an explosion. Dimension door is small. I need to make it bigger.
Okay. Okay, so to kind of rein in where I think you're headed here, I think the spell you want is Tiny Hut. I don't
have that. I can't do that.
You can't do
I'm
it?
I'm out of
as a
third
ritual?
spell slots.
Can you do it as a ritual? Right? You can do it.
Oh,
as
I
a
can do it
ritual.
as a ritual. Yeah, I can do it as a ritual.
Because this is about space, right? And Tiny Hut creates another dimension, basically.
Oh, well, it creates a dome of force.
Right. But it's like a self-sustaining thing.
This actually could work too, because the component for Tiny Hut is a small crystal bead.
Yeah?
So I could try and do it into that instead.
Okay, make an Arcana check for me, Toity.
I'm just kind of BSing it. Honestly,
Yeah,
the idea
I
was
can definitely tell that,
What?
yeah.
the idea is to do this, and if it doesn't work, ask him like, I'm not sure how I'm supposed to do this.
I definitely along the
Oh.
way got lost and didn't know what you were even wanting this for, and then it all came back.
Yeah. So I think you cast the spell. I mean, that's a pretty darn good roll. That is one away from the highest you could get.
I know. I was like, dang
So
it,
I think what happens, Toity, is you cast this spell and the stone disappears in your hand. Like it's just gone. You've sent it to some other plane of existence and you aren't sure how.
What the heck did I do?
And then who's around him when he's doing this?
I'm probably off to the side a little bit just because I'm not like...
Who's the closest person to him? Just whoever wants to...
I mean, probably either Darius or Raya.
I mean, I kind of want to just walk over to the shrine.
You want to just walk over, like, first? In the middle of the night?
I mean, I still had my water walk up, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to kind of go over there. I'd rather camp at the shrine than...
Okay, yeah.
Anywhere else.
Yeah, so Darius, I think you're the one who sees this. So Darius, you maybe like just catch something out of the corner of your eye, and you see Toy like say like, "Oh, what in the world?" And then like you like maybe look over, and you see the little polished stone floating around his head. It's like back in the back of his head right now. It's like floating around, so he can't see it.
Mm-hmm. And I think Darius goes, and he just like points, like,
I mean, I don't know necessarily you're directing that towards me.
and like if Toity doesn't like do anything, he's like, Toity.
What?
And I think as you turn your head, like you hit your head against the stone as it's like orbiting around your head, just like what? And yeah, it just kind of like wobbles in orbit around your head.
Oh, so it's not like fixed behind my head.
No, it's like orbiting around.
Oh, I'm like, what in the world how did they do that?
Watch your head.
You have no idea, Toity.
Well, I think what happened, I think I know exactly what happened. I think first off, Toity put up his hair.
Bye.
Bye.
Come back, Alyssa, come back!
Admittedly, what he was doing was worse. At least Alyssa, come back.
It's fine. I'm sure she'll be back eventually.
I hope so.
Oh my God.
She can't resist us.
That's true. But yeah, so that happens. So Toity, I mean, you don't know what you did yet or what it does, but you accomplished something. Do you want to try casting Dimension Door?
I can't. I'm out of 4th level spell.
Yeah, so
I only have one
like,
4th level spell slot.
You don't know if it worked or not. You just made a stone float around your head, I guess.
Mm-hmm. I can try in the morning. Can I take it off from orbiting my head, or is it kind of just stuck there?
How do you just try to like grab it?
I like try and grab it and like pull it away from my head.
Yeah, I think
Merry-go-round
it
in a
reaches
circle.
it reaches a point where it can't go any further, and then you can just kind of drag it around the circumference of the orbit.
Like
You're not sure how you did this or how to stop it.
I just kind of go, oh, and like let go. Like, does it just stay like near my head?
Yeah, it just kind of like comes back like a rubber band, and then just like keeps floating.
I'm not sure if that worked or if I made things worse.
You did something. I mean, you succeeded on rolls, so you did something. That's for
I know, but as of now, 20's like, what happened? Did
Yeah.
I just screw something up? I just attached this to my head.
Now, well, you had the one crown before. Now you have a new crown.
Right.
I prefer this crown, to be honest.
I'm going to bed. 20's just like, I am not about this right now.
So you lay your head down, and the stone orbits, and then eventually
Makes
settles
it-
on the pillow next to you
Okay.
because it can't go any further.
I was like, is it gonna make a circle in the ground?
No. It literally just it's as if it just kind of like it's like you're going to sleep with your pet rock next to you.
Oh.
It's adorable. Seth has created a sentient rock.
Another sentient rock. Raya has one of those.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh,
I was like,
orb.
what?
The orb.
I know, it just took me a second.
It's
I mean, I have one, and then I have one who like I have a rock that also will like float.
I am the
I
guardian
have
of
the drift globe.
It's true,
blue
it's true.
green rock.
But yeah. So
I'm sorry.
oh, okay. I thought you were just gonna get up again. Just come back, shake your head, leave again. So, I mean, Raya, I guess the last thing, right? Unless anyone else has anything, is you walk over. You go to the shrine, I guess.
I mean, I want to spend one more time trying to train Mickey again.
Oh yeah, sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, how are you doing that? Like as the evening is waning.
Relax your shoulders, Mickey.
I am completely relaxed.
Can I roll insight to see?
No, he's not relaxed. He's definitely not relaxed. I mean, you can tell because of
I mean, I think
tenseness
I
of his
can
muscles.
tell.
Yeah.
I'm like, would it help if I moved away?
He thinks about that for a second. Yes.
Okay. I like.
And he immediately like relaxes a little bit as you stop touching him.
I like. Well, I wasn't like touching him like the whole time.
No,
I'm just
right.
standing in front of him, like arms folded, like relax.
Yeah. So you maybe take a step back, and he's just like, all right.
I just like I want to like go behind the trees, cast Pass Without Trace, and then just like hide.
Right, just watch. Yeah, make another intelligence check, I guess, for training him.
Okay. Oh man.
Yeah, I mean, it's taking a while. Arya's not the best teacher, and Iggy's honestly not the best student for this sort of thing. So, I think we see him just kind of like aim the bow a couple times, and like he hits the tree a couple times, misses the tree a couple times. It's just kind of like, eh. And like you, Arya, you're just like, I would have hit that every single time. Come on, like. But and the thing is, like, he got a couple of good shots in, but you think it was more. I think Mickey is having that problem where in the middle of combat, it's like you get some adrenaline and you kind of like can do it a little bit, but like he can't replicate it outside of like a stressful situation where his life is in danger. So it's just he needs to like kind of drill down this, and so he can do it anytime. He can have this sort of accuracy, and so he's just struggling with it. But you're working towards it, you know. But yeah. So Raya, we see you slip away in the night to take a walk across the river to this little island where the temple is. And so you get up to this, basically it's like a slab of rock that just kind of comes out of the ground. And you kind of step onto this slab of rock as it slowly slopes upward, and like it slowly becomes it's like a little beach, but it's all rock. And you come to a set of stairs. So far you haven't seen anything weird. I mean, you see the temple as it's laid out there, with your dark vision. You see an entrance.
I'm gonna cast. Let's see. Detect magic.
You know what you should do though? You should probably make a stealth check because Kabil is like in camp. He would probably like be like, "Hey, where are you going?" if you just like slipped off.
Okay, guys. Blood. Boop.
Nope.
I should have used my.
So I think what it is.
No, even if I used my inspiration, it would have been a straight roll. It's fine.
Yeah, it's true. So I think what it is, I don't think he stops you, but he definitely notices. He definitely notices that you just slipped away in the middle of the night. He will remember this. And
Kabil will remember
Kabil will remember this.
I mean, it's not like I'm like desecrating the shrine or anything.
I mean, he doesn't know that. So you walk across, right? You come into the stairs. Do you walk up?
I cast detect magic.
Yeah, there's a lot of magic here. Lots and lots and lots of it. Almost any type of magic you could think of is kind of all around in this place. I mean, maybe not within 30 feet of you, but you certainly sense a lot of it within 30 feet of you. And if you
I'm
move
like
any further.
trying to. Is there any way for me to like be able to see like? Are there like magical like traps?
Like on the stairs?
Yeah, like wards, like warding me.
Make a perception check.
Okay, this I'm gonna use my inspiration for. Finally, because I remember that I have it. Ugh, and I didn't even need it. Ugh, I'm so annoyed with this.
Yeah. I think you see that one of the steps has a slightly different coloration. And you think that might be some sort of
I would
trap.
like to not step on that step.
Okay, yeah. You walk up the steps, missing that step, and you get up to the front of the temple with no worries.
Is my perception gonna like hold for like going
No, so the way
in, or do I
perception
need to
works, it's like a
re-roll?
singular thing. Investigation would hold like that, but
Oh, well, I should have rolled investigation.
well,
then.
investigation would take a lot more time though. This was just like a singular like moment of glancing.
Well, then I guess I'd like to investigate.
Okay, you want to investigate like the entrance?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't have any inspiration for this. 14.
Okay. I don't think you see anything out of the ordinary.
Okay. I carefully walk in.
Okay. Let me do something real quick. Mm-hmm. Dragging you over to his map. But only Raya can see.
Ooh, guys. There's unicorns over here. You really should have come with me. Oh my gosh.
Last time we had a dwarf like Darius with a unicorn.
There was blood.
It worked out really well for my character.
It's true.
It did.
Yeah, so that's what you see in front of you.
Let's see. I'm gonna carefully
Although became a lich.
just walk over here and like peek into this room.
Yeah, so remember, if you look at the handout, this is like the open pavilion or whatever.
Oh, okay. And are those columns like the?
And those are like the pillars, and then
Okay.
there are three plates kind of in the ground here. They're made of metal, and one of them is glowing. This one is glowing with a kind of very, very slight yellow light, and you honestly didn't even notice it until now because it's so subtle. It's slightly glowing. The other two are dark though, and these are like weird like patterns. It doesn't really make any sense to you. They look exactly like they look on the map.
Is the whole thing glowing, or is it like the bigger circle part that's glowing?
Basically the rivulets are glowing, right? The parts in between the plates.
Because I'm like, I see that there's a circle part, and I'm like, do I put the orb in it?
Yeah, you could certainly just put the orb anywhere you wanted to, I guess.
I feel like that's not the right answer with how you laughed at me.
I mean, I could be laughing at so many different things.
Yeah, you could.
I like the death trap that opens when you put it there.
Or the like new like guardian willow thing that's at this temple, at this shrine.
So
It's like,
I'm just gonna walk back kind of like to this front corner entrance and take out my orb.
Okay. The orb is glowing as you bring it out.
Ooh.
Seems to be
And
reacting to
it's
something
not
here.
usually glowing, is it?
I mean,
Not
not
like
this brightly, no.
It's way more glowy than
It's more glowy
than
than usual.
usual.
Yeah.
So I would like to focus on the orb.
Okay.
it's like how you know you have a notification. It's like
Right.
You've got mail.
you've got soul mail.
And I just want to kind of be like, I'm at a shrine. Do I need to do anything special here?
You're asking the orb?
Yeah.
Okay. So I think we see. So you do the thing where you concentrate and then you wake up and you're usually in a different place. But this time you open your eyes and you're still in the same place. But
It's all restored.
It's all restored and
Cool.
stuff. Yeah. Right? It's like not abandoned. And you see Isaac standing looking at the like looking through the opening here. And he's just kind of like looking at one hand on the door frame, basically, on the archway. And he looks back at you and he says, "Interesting that you find your way here."
Look, Isaac, I feel like by now You're just so.
I know.
Like, tell me things.
He loves being so aloof. It's amazing. Yeah, he just shrugs. It's part of my charm.
It really isn't.
Well, some people thought it was part of my charm. Remember, I was a really
sure
popular
you have
person
many
back
other
in the day.
ways to be charming, and this doesn't have to be one of them.
What do you want to know, Raya?
I mean, there's lots of things I want to know, but I guess right now, is there anything special that I'm supposed to do here?
There are several things that could happen here. This is a shrine of Xibalba, after all. He just like rolls his eyes as you sigh at him. He says, Raya, this is all happening in the blink of an eye. Could you give me a little bit of a moment here to be dramatic? It's not like we're running out of time.
I apparently can't give you more than a moment.
Don't get smart on me.
Is a blink of an eye.
Don't get smart on me, Raya.
I don't know. Some people say it's part of my charm.
Oh! Ouch! Brought that back around.
Shots fired.
So he kind of like does one of these, like like hair back, except it's like a flame, right? So he just like, and he's like, fine. You remember the Forsaken Shrine, the one in the Isle of Solemn Graves, where Willow was?
Mm-hmm.
I always liked her, by the way. Well,
she is great.
Yes. Well, this is another one of those. Another one of the shrines to Xibalba. There's several of these throughout the Yalotli Basin. And they're here largely to, well, protect something. Willow was tasked with the most important job of all, protect the idol of true neutrality, the idol of the neutrality of death. The thing that could attune the orb to itself and help the Guardian, well, become the Guardian. It does other things, but those aren't important right now. What's important about this shrine, the thing it's protecting, the thing it's keeping safe is, and that is where we will end our session for today. I love pulling cliffhangers like that.
I know. I was just like, I just need to get over here because I specifically wanted to come by myself to talk to the orb before. So.
Yeah, that gives me time to think a lot about what the shrine is and what's going on here and all the specifics and stuff. I have a general idea, but
I would like to throw it out there that we have played an extra long session tonight.
We have played an extra long session indeed. I loved it. It was a great session.
Me too.
But yeah,
one of your favorites so far.
It's not like, again, we've ramped down, so it has to ramp back up here. But it was definitely, I'm really liking the new goal-based XP stuff because it's given us a lot of really cool like other things that characters are interested in doing and pursuing, and a lot of weird things like Toity has a magical stone orbiting around his head, which wouldn't have happened probably if we weren't doing this sort of thing.
Not gonna lie, a little annoyed I did that.
And like, there's probably a way you could reverse it if you want to, but like, yeah, for now that's.
So I start spinning the other direction.
I think it's something Toity could get used to. Right now, I was like, oh, what did I just do?
Yeah. I mean, you start messing with weird magics. I mean, something weird's gonna happen.
It's like whenever you're annoyed, instead of like banging your head against the wall, you just start banging it against the rock.
Yeah. But yeah, I feel bad for Alyssa because it seems she hasn't been able to talk to most people. And the one time she does talk to people, everybody yells at her.
It's fine.
I did.
She did something.
Yell at
really
her.
crucial,
I just
It's true.
gave her.
Yeah, she
looks.
She jump started a conversation that none of us were wanting, or none of our characters were willing to do, and that actually like really helped us with this guy.
I think he trusts us more now because of that, actually.
Yeah, and here part of it is I've been like I just am waiting for Darius and Ari like scene when they can just kind of like debrief with each other and kind of catch up with like where they're at with everything that's going on.
Yeah. Because Darius has been dealing with his own things. Ari's been dealing with her own things, and yeah, they might be able to help each other, maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm sad because we won't play next week. We're gonna have to wait 2 weeks for the exciting conclusion of that cliffhanger.
But
Okay,
I
so
don't
if
like
we just play next week anyway and just like make up everything
Sure, it won't be
as
canon,
an
but
alternate universe
Sure.
episode where everything is the exact same from right now, and then we just that's
go in
like,
some random
okay,
direction.
this shrine is here to protect the unicorn, and we're like, oh, cool. What is the unicorn of death doing?
It's like a zombie. It's like a skeleton unicorn. That would be awesome, honestly.
It's a skeleton unicorn, so Skeletorn.
Skeletorn. Ooh, Skelehorn.
Skelehorn. There you go. That's it.
Or if it's a fire unicorn, would it be a Hellahorn?
Yeah. Helicorn.
Helicorn. Yes, that's what I meant. Helicorn.
But yeah. So let's do goals. Let's figure out XP for y'all, and wrap it up.
On a side note, I totally had been thinking about like, what if we had like an alternative unit, like a one-off of what if Darius didn't die at this point?
Yeah.
Or
we've been talking about like alternate timelines and like time travel and stuff already, so I wouldn't be surprised. We do know there's parallel dimensions, so that's at least a thing. Okie dokie. So, Toity, what are your goals? Let's look at those.
Well, I did try to upgrade Dimension Door. We'll see if that.
Yeah, we'll see if it ended up happening. You definitely worked towards it.
I tried to find once again. I feel like I asked him if he knows who Itokali is. I don't know if that necessarily counts for trying to find her sister.
I mean,
but
you're searching for the cult of the Dying Flame, right? And you're
I
getting
know,
closer to it, which is part of that for sure.
And I need to text you the reasoning behind why I'm doing this, but making a name for myself on the mainland.
Yeah. So I mean, you worked on all of your goals today, including the party goal. So that is 350 XP times 4.
Yay!
now, do you mean that you need to text him about the first goal or the second goal or
No, the last goal?
Make a
Why
name
he's
for
trying to
yourself.
make a
Okay,
name for
yeah,
himself. Yeah. Cool. Raya.
I worked on teaching Darius how to read.
You did.
And then I also found out more about the orb.
Yeah. Yep. Did you? So
I don't know. Did I?
you didn't. So you didn't find
rolls
out a
for it?
new piece of like in the same way that like the RAM thing was. I think you're working towards another like revelation about it, like because you didn't really. I don't think you really learned anything new about the orb itself, really.
Or like what the orb could do, or
Yeah,
what...
but you're
I
working
learned
towards
about
it
the
for sure.
history of it.
We learned as like the Lord of the Rings sort of thing you mentioned.
True. Okay, yeah, no, that counts. Yeah, so you've accomplished
Because
that.
that's
for the
why I
day.
like specifically didn't do like learn another like
right because okay,
spell that the
yeah,
orb
that's
can
fine.
do,
Yep, I
'cause
forgot
it's just,
about
like,
that. Yep,
I
that
want to
makes
learn
sense.
more about the orb. Period.
Did you work on your third goal today? Right.
No, I'm
No.
waiting for the specific time that I told you about.
Yeah. Yeah, cool.
What third goal? The one that doesn't exist?
Yeah, she's not a third goal. I don't know what you're talking about.
She's simple. She just
So
keeps her goals.
you have 350 times, or sorry, you have 350 times 2, and then plus 750 for accomplishing that goal of learning something new about the orb. So you've worked towards 2 because of the party goal, and then accomplished a small one. So whatever that ends up being, that's like 700 plus 750, 1450. Yep. Yeah. Ari Armani.
Complete 1 hex of exploration.
You did indeed.
Protect Raya.
Yeah, you did. You definitely protected Raya today.
Yeah. I did a
job.
poor job at training Mickey.
But you're working on it.
I'm working on it.
Yep. So let's see. You got 2,200 XP today, Ari. Congratulations.
Ooh.
Dang, that's more
For
than
not
once.
having talked very much, I sure got a lot of
Yeah,
XP.
you did. Cool. Darius.
All right. Well, my first goal was to continue to learn more about how someone becomes the god of death.
You are continuing to learn more. So it's you haven't. I don't think you've hit that one point where you're like, oh, we have a direction to go, but you're definitely working on it still.
So did I get it? Well, okay.
Right, because remember, I think that was
yeah,
phrased.
yeah, that we discussed it. That
Once you find a
had
direction to
progress.
go, then that's completed. Yeah.
Yeah. But well, do I get experience for that?
Yeah, you work towards it. Yeah.
Okay, okay, okay. Learn more about deliverance.
Yeah. I mean, you accomplished that. You unlocked a new thing about deliverance, so
Yeah,
that's cool.
I'm gonna erase that goal. Cool. And then discover his new abilities in his new body.
You are working hard towards that. Is this the? So
I
the
did.
way this
I did cast one spell.
right. Do we want to do that in such a way where each time you unlock a new thing, you've accomplished that section of it, right? Discover a new ability in your new body. Or do you want to just keep working on it every time? So if we do it where discover like his new abilities, like all of them, then you will get more XP at the end of that, right? For having accomplished all of it, you'll get working towards it every time.
Right. And I guess. I guess I'm wondering if there's like a way that he can like finally have it click where he just kind of learns them all at once in a sense.
Yeah, no, we can have that moment for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you wouldn't have to necessarily go through each and every single one.
Okay. But yeah, so then would that be like for now is like getting one is would that be completing it or is that working towards it?
If it's still phrased discover his new abilities in his new body, I think you're working towards it but haven't completed it yet. Yeah.
Okay.
So that means you've worked towards 3 because of the party goal, and you accomplished 1.
Yeah.
So that is 350 times 3 plus 750. Whatever that ends up being.
So 350 times 3 plus 750?
Yep.
It's 1800 again.
It is 1800 again. Yep. We've had that happen before.
600. 26,600.
Cool. And so Mickey had some goals. He hasn't worked on one of them because he didn't have any chance to talk to Raya. I don't really think he worked on earning Ari's affections at all this session. But he has been working on his 3rd goal, which is as yet unknown. So
Prove himself to the party that he is competent. Or
that is literally how it's phrased. You guessed it.
I did?
Yeah.
Yes!
Yep.
I mean, like, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, that
Prove
makes
myself to the party. He didn't do it. He tried, but he worked on it. Let me know, by the way, now that you know about that goal. Let me know when he does so. If he does so.
Like when our characters feel like
he's proven himself, yeah.
Okay.
Let's see. So that means he's worked on 2. So he gets 700 XP.
I feel like one of the things
I'm
that's
not
gonna have
gonna
to
call it
happen
that
is
again.
I'm gonna have to remember he's part of our party.
What?
One of the steps to proving himself is I'll actually remember that he's part of our party.
Right, remember, one of the criteria for fulfilling this goal is Rye remembering that you exist.
Yeah. Well, no, not that he exists. I know he exists, but that he's with us.
Yeah.
Like,
Rye,
oh yeah,
acknowledging your presence.
You're here.
Oh wait, I forgot you came with us.
Hey. Yep.
Hello.
But yeah. That is episode 26 of Terra Nullius. We won't be back. We won't be back next week because I will be in Atlanta. But we'll be back a week after, and it will be great. And I'm excited because there's some things going down, and now y'all know about the 7 serpents, and you know how crazy. Like, so my picture for this campaign is that you will eventually face and defeat all 7 serpents.
That's
because
totally
that would
my
be
thought.
awesome.
Yes.
But that will take a while.
It
So
will.
yeah, see how that goes.
I am totally hoping like Temperance does something like cool that's fire related eventually. That like I either A, I can start striking with fire damage, or B, I'm immune to fire damage while I'm holding it, because it's already giving me like, it's already keeping me warm.
It's true, yeah. I mean, it's temperance,
or immune
right?
to cold.
I mean, yeah, either one, right? It keeps you temperate.
Yeah.
That's kind of its thing. That's the whole purpose, yeah. That's why it's called that. Yeah. And maybe temperance in some small way is why Darius isn't as angry as he used to be.
Huh.
He's been learning to be a little bit more temperate.
Maybe it also helps him to be more neutral.
Yeah. But yeah, there we go. We are out. Thanks for watching. Another person that I don't think has watched before gave me 200 bits. So
Oh,
Yay!
that's cool. We're making it, guys. $1 at a time.
breaking it down $1 at a time.
All right, we out. Bye.